Important update about YouTube playlists. Hey everyone. We've received many messages asking why our YouTube playlists aren't showing up. Do we create YouTube playlists? Yes, we absolutely do. So why can't you see them? Honestly, we're not sure. We've been in contact with YouTube support for several months now, but we still haven't received a clear answer or solution. After much discussion, our team has decided to take matters into our own hands. We believe the issue might be related to the number of playlists we've created on a single channel, possibly too many. Our solution? We're launching 2 additional YouTube channels, giving us a total of 3. This way, we can organize our audiobooks better and avoid the playlist visibility issue in the future. This change only affects our YouTube audience. If you're a patron supporter, you can still access all our audiobooks by visiting the collection menu on Patreon. Thanks so much for your time and continued support. Happy listening. It was the first time Tsunade saw someone trying to win her over in this way. Inviting her to become his son, inviting her to join his big family. Family. Tsunade was a bit dazed. How many years has it been since she heard this word? Does she desire to have a family? Does she desire to have relatives? To be honest, Tsunade does desire it. Her longing for relatives surpasses many people, and her feelings for relatives also surpass many people. Otherwise, she wouldn't have developed an endless fear of blood due to the death of Dan and Nawaki. But after all, she is not a child like Naruto. Tsunade took a deep breath. Lord Whitebeard, I don't even want to be a ninja now, let alone be a pirate. She said so. The key point is that Tsunade is a woman. How can she be a son? Wait. Why does she feel that is the important thing? Tsunade was startled. Late at night, Whitebeard and others decided to rest in this small town for one night. After all, Whitebeard had just finished 4-hour surgery. Whether it's Whitebeard or Naruto, they both sleep very soundly. Only Kakashi stayed up all night. What Whitebeard said not only stunned Tsunade but also affected Kakashi, who was an orphan of the Hidden Leaf village. Ever since Kakashi's father committed suicide, he has been alone. Even though he didn't take off his mask even when he was sleeping in bed, you could still see from his wide-open dead fish eyes that he couldn't hide his sad expression. He was a bit upset and confused. Honestly, without avoiding his inner feelings, Kakashi admitted that he was a bit envious of Naruto. Naruto is like him. He has no relatives and there are no objects of attachment in this world. Until Naruto met Whitebeard, this little kid had a deep bond with Whitebeard. It turns out, Whitebeard did not disappoint Naruto's trust in him. Whitebeard truly did what a father should do. White-haired brat, be my son, this sentence, even though Whitebeard hasn't said it for several days. But tonight, that sentence echoed again in Kakashi's mind. Over and over again. He couldn't forget the look of longing for a family in Whitebeard's eyes when he said, "The Whitebeard pirate is a family." TSK. Kakashi casually grabbed a pillow from the side and directly covered his face with the pillow. Until the next day. Early morning. 5 o'clock. Kakashi, with dark circles under his eyes, yawned sleepily. He hadn't slept all night last night. The reason he got up so early from bed was because it was time for Naruto's self-abuse training at 5 o'clock in the morning. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr mmm. Stupid son. Run faster for me. Whitebeard's roar made it impossible for people to sleep. Pops. I'm already running very fast. Naruto's screams were also hard to ignore. This pair of father and son who have no blood relationship are full of vitality at this time every day. Especially Whitebeard. As if he hadn't had surgery at all yesterday. And as if he hadn't had a hangover. Such enthusiasm. Kakashi suddenly noticed something. He turned his head to look to the side and saw Tsunade, who didn't know when she was standing next to him. Tsunade complained speechlessly, "With them like this, how can I sleep? It's seriously disturbing other people's sleep." Even if it was very quiet last night, she couldn't sleep. But that doesn't prevent her from complaining. And Tsunade took in the scene in front of her. Looking at Naruto being tormented into a half-dead state, her eyelids were jumping. What is Whitebeard doing? Is he trying to kill Naruto Uzumaki? This is their training. Kakashi explained, Naruto has been persisting for a long time. After saying this sentence, Kakashi suddenly paused. That's right. In his impression, Naruto has been persisting for almost a month. This kind of training is so intense that it is no different from suicide. If a normal child trains like this, they would probably be dead in less than a day. But Naruto is now screaming miserably, but once he finishes training, he is still full of energy and can continue training the next day. Naruto is a very strong kid. He does it for his dad, and also for his dream of becoming Hokage. Kakashi praised, he puts in 200 times the effort of ordinary people, even if he will die for it, he doesn't care. Tsunoda's beautiful eyes flashed with different colors. Naruto wants to become Hokage? Kakashi nodded. This little kid almost shouts every day that he must become Hokage. They are similar. Tsunoda murmured. Huh? Kakashi was taken aback. Tsunoda did not respond. In her eyes, Naruto and her memory of Nawaki became more and more overlapping, whether it was their appearance or personality. This coincidence, which couldn't be more coincidental, always made Tsunoda feel that her younger brother was reincarnated and reborn. But reason told her. That's impossible. Just then, Whitebeard's voice suddenly rang out, Gorura. You foolish son. Do you want some real combat? Only through fighting and getting beaten can one become stronger. Real combat? Naruto was a bit shocked, but Pops, I don't know any ninjutsu yet, and I haven't really learned any taijutsu either. Pops, there's no way I can beat you. Although he had been training intensively for almost a month, this month had been all about endurance and strength training. At most, he would try to extract some chakra at night. Basically, it was just these three things. And apart from that, Naruto hadn't learned anything else. Foolish son. Whitebeard gave Naruto a fist of love, causing Naruto almost to let out a scream. Whitebeard chuckled and remarked. When I mentioned real combat, I didn't intend for you to face off against me. We're both pirates, after all. When a pirate's money run dry, it's only natural to rob other people. Rob? Naruto held his head, his eyes slightly glowing. Then won't we be able to have a lot of treasures again? Gorura. Of course. Naruto knew about Whitebeard's dream. One of his dreams was to hoard more treasures and then bring them back to his hometown. Since it was Whitebeard's dream, it was also Naruto's dream. Naruto was full of motivation for this. Did I hear that right? Watching the departing figures of Whitebeard and Naruto, Tsunoda was dumbfounded. They're going to rob? Tsunoda-sama, you heard correctly. Kakashi had several black lines on his forehead. They really are going to rob. Kakashi remembered something and added, and with Whitebeard's style, it's very likely not limited to robbing. What do you mean? Tsunoda asked in astonishment. Kakashi explained, Whitebeard will probably claim that this town is a territory protected by his Whitebeard pirates. From then on, this town will have to pay him tribute every year. Whitebeard once said this is tax, but I think it's more like pirates collecting protection fees. However, Whitebeard usually won't harm civilians. He only targets the rich, especially the nobles. Tsunoda. When Tsunoda, Kakashi, and Shizune caught up with Whitebeard and Naruto, they found that this father-son duo had already arrived at a casino in town. Tsunoda's expression suddenly became quite subtle. Because this casino was where she had lost a lot of money. And her high-interest loan was also borrowed from here. The group of samurai who were chasing her around town yesterday. They were members of the gang in this casino. You foolish son. Just then, Whitebeard grabbed Naruto's clothes with one hand. Under Naruto's wide-eyed expression, he directly threw Naruto into the casino and laughed heartily. Gorura. This is your first real combat experience. Do not tarnish the reputation of the Whitebeard pirates. Naruto thought. Pops was going to take him along to rob. He didn't expect him to go alone. What? Under his scream, Naruto uncontrollably crashed through the casino's glass window and his small body fell into the casino, attracting the attention of all the gamblers. Chapter 49, If you're an enemy of pirates, be prepared to die 2 minutes ago. Inside the casino, apart from a group of fervent gamblers, there were also more than a dozen gangster samurais hired by the casino. Boss, please give us one more chance. We won't disappoint you. We will definitely find that fat sheep. The lead samurai bowed with beads of sweat on his forehead. I already gave you a chance yesterday, said the man referred to as the boss. He was dressed in a suit and wore an exquisite family crest on his lapel. He looked at the group of samurais and said coldly, I spend so much money on all of you every month, not to have you eat for free but to work for me. Boss, we understand our mistake. The samurais didn't dare to protest and avoided making any contradictory remarks. They knew their boss had a powerful background, something they couldn't afford to mess with. Moreover, the exquisite family crest on the boss suit was that of the Shimura clan from Hidden Leaf Village. He was from the Shimura clan. However, he wasn't a ninja from the Shimura clan. He was one of the few in the family who lacked ninja talent. People like him, who didn't possess ninja abilities, often became the family's tool, sent outside Hidden Leaf Village to earn money. This casino was operated by the Shimura clan, and they constantly send money back to the family every year. Now, they had lost hundreds of thousands of ryo. How could he not be anxious? I've already told you, that woman named Tsunoda, even though she is a ninja, she won't harm any of you. But you can't seem to catch her. Bang. At that moment, a glass window in the casino suddenly shattered, and glass shards flew in all directions. One of the samurais, caught off guard, was struck by a piece of glass in his groin. Ah! The pain made him howl in agony as he fell to the ground, clutching his crotch. His hands were covered in blood, and the pain caused his whole body to tremble. The group of samurais in the casino, as well as some fervent gamblers, couldn't help but turn their eyes towards the broken window. There, they saw a blond boy lying on the ground, covered in glass shards. When did this boy come out? Why did he crash in? Is he dead? Ah! It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Naruto suddenly bounced to his feet, exclaiming in pain as he hastily removed the glass shards embedded in his body. The pain made him grit his teeth, but he refrained from screaming. Naruto quickly took out a flag from his pocket, and it was none other than the Jolly Roger of the Whitebeard Pirates. Seeing that the Jolly Roger hadn't been torn by the glass, Naruto breathed a sigh of relief. I can't let Pops down. With this thought in mind, Naruto spread out the pirate flag and, feeling like a true pirate, shouted at the samurais and gamblers. I am Naruto Uzumaki, the first division captain of the new Whitebeard Pirates. The Whitebeard Pirates have arrived in this town, and all of you need to hand over all your treasures. Naruto believed that he had the demeanor of a pirate in his performance. However, the people in the casino didn't seem to take him seriously. Damn brat. The samurai, clutching his bleeding groin, his eyes filled with rage, said, I'm going to kill you. Naruto watched the bloody samurai. A sword rushed toward him with the intent of cutting down the small boy in front of him. For a child who had just experienced his first real battle, Naruto didn't expect these adults to waste time talking to him. As the sharp blade approached him, Naruto's small body instinctively moved to the side. Clang! The sword didn't strike Naruto, but instead, it hit the wall behind him. He had dodged it. It seems slower than when my pops draws his sword. Naruto's eyes widened. For a moment, he realized that he could clearly perceive the trajectory of the opponent's sword swing. Whitebeard's pirate-style training for Naruto. It had an effect. Damn brat, you dare to dodge. The pain and anger had driven the samurai mad. He fiercely swung his sword at Naruto again, but Naruto dodged it by bending his knees and lowering his body. Enough is enough. Naruto was a bit annoyed. You need to know when to stop. He charged at the samurai. A headbutt. It hit the weak spot. Ah! The samurai's sword fell to the ground. He trembled all over, clutching his crotch. A pain unbearable for ordinary people blurred his consciousness. His eyes rolled back. He fainted and fell to the ground. Did I just defeat an adult? Naruto was very surprised. But as soon as he looked up, he met a group of grim-faced samurai and a man in a suit with an even grimmer expression. The legendary big fat sheep dares to run wild on my turf, and now a stinky brat shows up as well. Take care of him. Eh? Seeing more than a dozen samurai draw their swords together, Naruto couldn't help but swallow hard. He realized that the situation seemed to be a bit unfavorable for him. So, Pops? Stinky brat. Even if you call your father, it won't help. A group of samurai sneered and wanted to swarm him. After all, they had just been scolded by their boss. Now, they finally had a chance to perform. How could they miss this opportunity? But at this moment, an even bigger commotion suddenly arose. This time, it wasn't a pane of glass that was shattered. Instead, a wall collapsed. Boom! Inside the casino, the group of samurai and the spectators were dumbfounded as they watched a wall collapse. The sudden rise of dust and debris made them cough continuously. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr. Whitebeard's hearty laughter echoed as his towering figure appeared before the crowd. There are only a dozen enemies, and you're already asking for my help? They all have weapons. Naruto weakly defended. Bang! Whitebeard slammed his Murakamagiri into the ground. This strike didn't use any devil fruit powers, yet it caused the ground to shake violently. It also made the people in the casino unstable. They all showed expressions of fear. On their faces, stupid son. Raise the flag of the Whitebeard Pirates. After Whitebeard said this to Naruto, he looked at the group of samurai in the casino. Kids. If you draw your swords against pirates, do you know what consequences it will bring? Whitebeard grinned, drawing your swords against my stupid son. Do you know what will happen? His hearty and domineering aura made people tremble. Gulp. The samurai, who were originally full of vigor, were instantly scared. But before they could react, Whitebeard had already picked up his Murakamagiri. After a flurry of blade movements, he slashed down. If you're an enemy of pirates, be prepared to die. Murakamagiri fiercely slashed onto the casino floor. The wind pressure rolled up like a tornado, causing the gamblers and samurai in the casino to scream as they were swept up by the strong wind. The casino floor was split in two on the spot. The earth began to crack open on both sides, revealing a straight and wide crack. Murakamagiri's blade cut through one end of the crack. The other end spread rapidly forward. all the way to a kilometer away. The casino boss, who was from the Shimura clan, fell hard from midair, almost losing half his life. When he cried out in pain and struggled hastily, he looked up and saw Whitebeard in front of him. He was immediately so scared that he couldn't move. "Stupid son, I'm going to teach you the second lesson of being a pirate. If your enemy doesn't want to pay up, beat them until they do. Remember, we are pirates, we are not playing Ninja House." Gorura. Chapter 50, What? Leave the land of fire? That's impossible. Shimura Takaru was gripped by an unprecedented fear. The giant before him demonstrated unparalleled power, instantly destroying everything that the Shimura clan had built in this place. He watched helplessly as a dozen warriors were sent flying by an overwhelming invisible force. He also saw the same fate befall the gamblers in the casino. A large number of chips were scattered all over the ground. The gambling tables were also destroyed. What's more, he could see a straight, massive trench extending for who knows how many meters. This deep, dark trench was so profound that its end was beyond sight. It was terrifying. It was shocking. Gorura. Stupid son. Whitebeard spoke, have you learned your lesson? If you have, then move all the money out. This is how pirates deal with those who don't know their place. Okay, Pops. Naruto seemed to have opened the door to a new world, and he enthusiastically rummaged through the ruins. No one dared to stop this blonde kid. Because the giant was still standing there. After about 10 minutes, Naruto, panting from exhaustion, didn't expect that sometimes moving money could also be a difficult and tiring task. Pops, it's all moved. Naruto shouted excitedly. Then, Naruto had somehow found several large bags. Now, these bags were all filled with banknotes, mostly of high denominations. A rough estimate. It was nearly 10 million ryo. Well done. Quite efficient. Truly worthy of being my son. You were born to be a pirate. Whitebeard rarely praised Naruto. This made Naruto even happier. The brat in a suit who peed his pants. Whitebeard glanced at Shimura Takaru. Indeed, this member of the Shimura clan had wet his pants. The area beneath his crotch was undeniably wet. Whitebeard declared in a near-irrefutable tone. From today onwards, this town is under the protection of the Whitebeard pirates. Your casino must pay taxes to the Whitebeard pirates every year, which means the casino and the Whitebeard pirates will share profits on a 30-70 basis. An astonishing figure that left Shimura Takaru terrified and dumbfounded. Why do I only get to keep 70%? It should be noted that the funds he used to bring back to his family accounted for 70% of the casino's annual income. If this giant only left him with 70%, then he would have to take this 70% back to his family. What would he have left? Working for nothing? 70% belongs to the Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard slammed his Murakamagiri into the ground, causing it to tremble violently. He looked disdainfully at Shimura Takaru, who was staring wide-eyed and tongue-tied, and said, "You can take 30%, but that depends on my mood." White-haired brat. Whitebeard turned around and said, "We've run out of pirate flags. Draw dozens more. I want this town to be filled with the flags of the Whitebeard pirates." Gorura. Kakashi. You really have the style of a pirate. Tsunade was surprisingly interested. She crossed her arms over her chest, holding on to two enormous objects. She looked at Kakashi, who was reluctantly drawing pirate flags. I didn't expect that you, with your thick eyebrows and big eyes, would also be his accomplice. After hearing this, Kakashi had no choice but to defend himself. Tsunade-sama, I must stay by Naruto's side and take good care of him. Under these circumstances, I have no choice but to temporarily listen to Whitebeard. You're afraid you can't beat him, aren't you? Tsunade mercilessly exposed Kakashi, leaving Kakashi's only visible eye full of helplessness. Tsunade-sama, as one of the three ninjas, why don't you stop him? Kakashi turned around and asked Tsunade. Why should I stop him? After her initial shock, Tsunade actually became gleeful. She even rubbed her hands together. These bastards cheated me out of so much money by cheating. This is their retribution. Moreover, she said, this is an action taken in the land of fire, not a problem with Hidden Leaf Village. What does it have to do with me? Besides, I have already resigned from my ninja duties. I am no longer a ninja. If her entire speech boiled down to just 4 words. None of her business? Kakashi didn't know what was going on with Tsunade. Although she seemed carefree, he could sense a deep melancholy from Tsunade. Could it be because of some events that happened during the war years ago? Kakashi didn't feel it was appropriate to ask too many questions. When Kakashi finally finished drawing dozens of pirate flags, the entire town was adorned with the flags of the Whitebeard pirates. Flags painted in white on a black background. Fluttered in the wind. After hanging the flags of the Whitebeard pirates all over the town, Whitebeard was ready to leave with Naruto. After all, Whitebeard's purpose in coming here was to find Tsunade to treat his illness and alleviate the hidden pain in his body. Although it wasn't completely cured, Whitebeard felt it was enough. After a surgery treatment lasting more than 4 hours by Tsunade and Shizune, Whitebeard's physical condition was incredibly good. Even if he had to fight a Marine Admiral for 10 days and nights, Whitebeard felt there would be no problem. Most of the hidden illnesses had been eliminated. They would no longer hold him back. He was truly nearing his peak strength with his aging body. Pops, this doesn't seem like the way back? When Naruto said this, he was gritting his teeth due to exertion. Although some of the banknotes were sealed directly by Kakashi using his sealing scroll at Whitebeard's request, Naruto still had to carry a considerable amount of banknotes on his back. This was also a form of special training exercise. The weight of the banknotes Naruto carried had reached 200 pounds, so heavy that his 5-year-old legs were trembling. Even his lips were stunned. But he still followed Whitebeard with a trembling step. Whitebeard laughed and said, "Foolish son, this journey is not only for my treatment, but also a form of training for you. Do you want to go back to school and be the weakest among them? Do you want to fall behind that Uchiha kid?" Uchiha. Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto was taken aback. Whitebeard's words truly struck a chord in Naruto's heart. Naruto didn't know why he had such a competitive spirit. His instinct didn't want him to be surpassed by Sasuke. "Pops, so we..." Naruto couldn't help but ask weakly. "Where are we going?" "Leave the land of fire," Whitebeard declared without mincing words. "Only by experiencing the baptism of blood and battle in such a war-torn country can you grow up." "Hold on. Leave the land of fire?" Kakashi, who was behind them, widened his eyes. He knew he was no match for Whitebeard, but in such an urgent situation, he had to speak up. "How can this be? If Naruto leaves the land of fire, he could very well become a target for all the major ninja villages. He is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki." At this point, Kakashi suddenly realized. Oh no. It appeared that he had accidentally revealed some important information. Chapter 51, The Truth. Am I the Jinchuriki? The vessel of the tailed beast? Whitebeard, to some extent, knew that there was a creature lurking inside Naruto. Yet, the intricate details were beyond his knowledge. Truthfully, Whitebeard wasn't overly concerned. In his eyes, his son is just that. His son. What if he harbored a monster within? Doesn't care. It didn't change the fact that Naruto was his child. However, Naruto cared deeply. Nine-Tails Jinchuriki? Naruto froze upon hearing the term. Struggling beneath his hefty burden, he tried to lift his head to meet the ever so slightly shifting gaze of Kakashi. Naruto, in confusion, inquired. "Uncle Kakashi, what does this mean? Why am I the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki?" He didn't grasp the gravity of the term. Yet, he could deduce its connection to the demon fox. With this realization, Naruto's emotions began to spiral. Is this why the villagers despise me so much? Kakashi fell silent. After a while, under Naruto's expectant gaze, Kakashi could only muster. "Naruto, some things will be clear when you're older. The Hokage will tell you then." "White-haired brat." Whitebeard's voice rang out. "Why aren't you answering to Naruto's questions? If Naruto wishes to know, then tell him." A loud thud echoed as Whitebeard's weapon struck the ground just inches from Kakashi, causing a gust of wind to brush Kakashi's heel. In front of Naruto, who looked forward to begging for the answer and the intimidating presence of Whitebeard, Kakashi wants to slap his own face yet, when he gazed upon Naruto's small, slightly bashful, and fatigued face, marked by the strains of rigorous special training. Two faces flashed through his mind. Kushina and Minato, a Jinchuriki is a person who is either possessed by a tailed beast or its chakra. They're the vessel that seals away the tailed beast, Kakashi spoke up, no longer avoiding the question. Tailed beast? Vessel? Whitebeard's eyebrow quirked. "Whitebeard, you've probably sensed that Naruto has an unfathomable potential within him." Kakashi elaborated. "But that potential is only a fraction of what's truly inside him. The greater portion is held by the tailed beast. Specifically the Nine-Tails. This entity is the source of Naruto's remarkable abilities. Naruto's frequent near-death experiences, where a surge of orange chakra would envelop him, in fact, it was the Nine-Tails chakra. When this revelation ends..." Whitebeard was unfazed by the revelation because he had indeed suspected it. However, Naruto was dumbfounded. "I have a tailed beast inside me? It's called Nine-Tails?" Suddenly, memories of peculiar dreams flooded back. Dreams where he encountered a strange creature. The creature was extremely large. "The Hidden Leaf Village doesn't truly know its name," Kakashi added, his expression pained. "The name Nine-Tails is just a nickname the village has given this powerful beast. Realization dawned upon the young Naruto. Is this why I was treated as an outcast? Kakashi nodded gravely. The tailed beast is dangerous. 5 years ago, it brought immense destruction to the Hidden Leaf village. At that time, many people died. As Naruto looked devastated by the revelation, Kakashi hastily added. But this isn't your fault. The Nine Tails did that. Naruto's strength seemed to fade all at once. More than 200 pounds of weight directly weighed him down. Naruto fell to the ground. Inside me resides a monster that harmed the village. His conviction to become Hokage, to be loved by everyone, now seemed shattered. Whispers echoed in his mind. Am I truly a monster? Have I hurt everyone? His mood was incredibly chaotic. The seal that suppressed the Nine Tails was crumbling. His pupils began morphing, taking on a beastly appearance. Even the Hokage knew. But he didn't tell me. It turned out, I was really a demon fox. Naruto's 10 nails gradually extended, becoming razor sharp. Inside Naruto, the Nine Tails laughed maniacally. Yes, this is it. This Kakashi is much more to my liking than Whitebeard. The darkness in the boy's heart is rising. Nine Tails' huge body slammed into the seal. The laughter on its face looked really happy. Speak more. Speak more. As long as this brat's emotions completely collapse, I can take this opportunity to try to break this damn seal. The Nine Tails chakra was wildly spreading within Naruto. It was constantly affecting Naruto's mind. And affecting Naruto's body. Kakashi, who was watching Naruto undergo this change with wide eyes, quickly stopped talking. He pressed his hands on Naruto's shoulders, his palms touching the Nine Tails chakra emanating from Naruto's body. The inexplicably cold and sinister chakra. It made Kakashi's expression change dramatically. Naruto. Calm down. Kakashi hurriedly advised. All of this is done by the Nine Tails, not you. You are not a demon fox. It is the real culprit. Naruto? Kakashi found that Naruto couldn't hear a word. It was as if his hearing was being interfered with by the Nine Tails chakra. I don't know if my sealing technique works on tailed beasts. Kakashi took a deep breath. He couldn't let Naruto continue like this. If Naruto would go berserk. However, at this moment, Kakashi suddenly noticed a huge crisis coming from above his head. Looking up, he saw a huge fist smashing down. He was so scared that he teleported away in an instant. Bang! A fist larger than Naruto's entire body slammed hard onto Naruto. Like hammering a nail, it smashed Naruto directly into the ground. The terrifying power caused the ground to tremble violently. The power of this punch could probably flatten a piece of steel. You foolish son. Whitebeard's roar carried an unparalleled conqueror's haki. Don't let the power you possess sway your will. Boom. The conqueror's haki washed over Naruto's spirit. The strong punch shattered the Nine Tails chakra. It made Naruto spit out foam directly. His eyes rolled up. He fainted on the spot. Damn Whitebeard. The fearsome Nine Tails smile suddenly froze. Chapter 52, Minato no Mikaze? Nothing more than a bad father. Naruto felt like he had a very lucid dream. This dream made everything he encountered feel very real. He dreamed that he came to a place that looked like a prison. There was water everywhere under his feet, and the air was very damp and gloomy. The prison was huge. So big that he felt like he had become a tiny ant, and he could vaguely see a huge shadow inside the prison. Naruto remembered that he had dreamed of this place before. Only this time, the dream was particularly clear. In the dream, he vaguely heard the huge figure in the prison muttering, and Naruto could guess that it seemed to be a tone of complaint. He heard words like damn Whitebeard. Hey! You're not allowed to curse Pops. Naruto didn't know who was in the prison, but Pops was so good to him, he would never allow anyone to speak ill of Pops. Huh? A certain Nine Tails turned its huge head in surprise. It looked down and saw Naruto's tiny body. In an instant, the Nine Tails bared its teeth. Brat! You actually came here. Its face was ferocious, like a beast ready to eat people. The murderous intent surging in the sealed space was incredibly chilling. It never had any good feelings for humans. All it had was hatred and murderous intent. At first, the Nine Tails didn't feel anything about humans until one day it was inexplicably caught by someone. Then that bastard put a Susanoo on it and controlled it to fight with an incredibly strong guy. It remembered being beaten very badly. Yes, it was beaten up. Then, it became a tool for humans, inexplicably sealed inside a human body. After that human finally died, it was sealed inside another person's body. It finally came out, but then it was controlled by someone again. When it regained consciousness, the Nine Tails was shocked to find that its body had been forcibly split in half. One half of its body ran off somewhere unknown. The other half is now it, sealed inside a kid named Naruto Uzumaki. Calling out to the heavens all day, with no answer from above. Calling out to the earth, but receiving no response from below. Today it finally had a chance to break free from the seal, but it was ruined by that damn Whitebeard. How could the Ninetales not be angry? It was furious. This anger, coupled with its hatred for humans, made the murderous intent released by the Ninetales when it looked at Naruto very surging. If the murderous intent of the Ninetales is a vast ocean, then Naruto is just a small boat, floating with the waves. Gulp. When the body of the Ninetales fully appeared in front of him, 5-year-old Naruto inevitably felt fear. But when he thought about how this big fox had just spoken ill of Pops, he didn't know where he got the courage from. Naruto tried hard to straighten his back. He tightened his little face. I'm not afraid of you. Suddenly recalling what Kakashi had said, Naruto widened his eyes and said, could you be the tailed beast Ninetales that Uncle Kakashi talked about? Are you the one who turned me into the demon fox in the village? Hey! The Ninetales exhaled a breath. The strange and sinister gale almost blew Naruto onto his butt in the water. The Ninetales showed its sharp teeth. It grinned and laughed. Yes. It's me. I even killed many people back then. Are you angry? Brat? Naruto clenched his teeth hard. How could he not be angry? Ha ha ha. Little brat. There's something you don't know yet. That white-haired little devil hid quite a few things from you back then. Ninetales laughed heartily. Over these years, I've been inside you, watching you being isolated, ridiculed, and bullied. It's hilarious. Ha ha ha. Damn it. Naruto gritted his teeth. So all of this is because of you. Don't blame the tailed beasts indiscriminately. Stinky brat. Ninetales laughed wildly. It's not like I wanted to stay here. The one who sealed me inside you was your biological father. Ha 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 ha. Get lost. Little brat. Naruto sat up from the ground, sweating profusely. When he opened his eyes, he found that the prison in front of him had disappeared. The Ninetales are also gone. The scene he could see now was a familiar yet strange forest. When Naruto tried to stand up, he suddenly lost his balance and almost fell. He instinctively reached out and grabbed something. The familiar touch of the object made Naruto realize that he was lying on Whitebeard's shoulder. He had slept on Whitebeard's shoulder and had a nightmare. Stupid son, are you awake? Whitebeard, whose beard was pulled, glanced at the awakened Naruto. Pops. Naruto's tumultuous thoughts settled down. For some reason, Naruto, who dreamed of the Ninetales, was easily restless. But when he saw Whitebeard, an unprecedented sense of security it calmed Naruto down. Naruto, are you okay? Do you feel anything wrong with your body? Did anything strange happen when you fell asleep? Another concerned voice sounded from the same side. Kakashi was the one speaking. Yesterday, when Kakashi saw the Ninetales chakra raging in Naruto's body, even growing 2 tails behind him, he was so scared that his back was soaked with cold sweat. Fortunately, Whitebeard knocked Naruto out with a single punch, the force of which gave Kakashi quite a scare. Kakashi was worried that Naruto might never wake up after taking that punch. I think I dreamt of a huge fox. Naruto recalled his dream and said. It was bad-mouthing Pops, so I told it not to speak ill of him. A fox? The Ninetales? Sweat dripped from Kakashi's forehead. His biggest worry was that Naruto, in his immature state of mind, would be influenced by the tailed beast. Did it say anything to you? Kakashi asked. It said. Naruto spoke softly. It said it was sealed inside me by my biological father. Kakashi. Not good. Whitebeard's brow furrowed deeper than Naruto's. Looking at the downcast Naruto, he snorted. He sealed such a dangerous thing in his own son? Is this the act of a good father? Pa. Absolutely not. Uncle Kakashi, is this true? Naruto asked. Is that big fox lying to me? Kakashi fell silent. If it were only Naruto present, he might have told a white lie, but Whitebeard was also there. It's true. Kakashi tried to defend his teacher. But your biological father. He had his difficulties. The situation was urgent at the time, this might have been the best solution. Nonsense. Whitebeard scorned. No matter how difficult it is for a father, he can't let his child bear all this. Has he ever thought about Naruto being discriminated against? Has he ever thought about Naruto being bullied? Has he ever cared about Naruto? Humphrey. Bad father. Whitebeard didn't understand why a father would let his child suffer all these hardships. He thought this was a manifestation of irresponsibility. And he began to criticize Minato Namikaze sharply. This left Kakashi speechless. Unable to refute. Chapter 53, The Land of Grass. Targeted by the ninjas of the Land of Grass. At first, Whitebeard thought that the evil energy within Naruto was innate to him, a special talent that set him apart from ordinary people. Even though this power was extraordinary and evil. But after all, it was Naruto's own. Isn't this a unique talent? However, Whitebeard now found that Naruto was actually possessed by a very dangerous monster living in his body, threatening Naruto's life. This made Whitebeard think that Naruto's biological father was extremely irresponsible. "Pops, he's not my father." Naruto was silent for a long time before finally saying this. Whitebeard plainly pointed out the wrongs of Naruto's biological father, and the 5-year-old Naruto felt more and more hurt as he listened. He thought what the pops said was right. Why should he, a child, bear all this? Why seal such a terrifying monster in his body? There are so many powerful ninjas in the Hidden Leaf village. Why does it have to be him? Naruto bit his lip tightly and once again firmly said, "He is not my father. I don't want to know who he is, I only know that you pops are my father." Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr cried. Naruto swept away the frustration on his little face. He nodded heavily and his face returned to a bright smile. In Naruto's heart, his parents, who had been dead for many years, could not give him warmth or bring him family ties. However, Whitebeard can do it. I hope the teacher can't hear these words in heaven. Kakashi muttered to himself. In fact, he also thought that what Minato-sensei did might be a bit irresponsible. The will of fire should be, where the leaves flutter, the fire is endless. The fire will continue to illuminate the village and let new leaves sprout. This signifies that the older generation is sacrificing themselves for the benefit of the younger generation. But after the older generation sacrifice themselves, can they really let go of everything and not care about anything? Why should the young ones have to carry this burden? Have you thought about the young ones' future? Thinking about it, Kakashi was absent-minded. While Kakashi was lost in thought, he suddenly had an epiphany. Hold on. Kakashi was suddenly startled. This. As he followed behind Whitebeard, his eyes wandered left and right and finally came to a conclusion that baffled him. This is no longer within the borders of the Land of Fire. While he was thinking, he unconsciously followed Whitebeard and left the borderline of the Land of Fire. That is to say, after Kakashi Hatake accepted the task from the Hokage, he actually watched as Whitebeard took Naruto away from the Land of Fire? Right. The Hokage's order seems to only require me to follow Whitebeard, but it doesn't ask me to do anything specific. The shock in Kakashi's eyes gradually subsided. I see, the Hokage must have had his reasons. His gaze returned to the Kakaparia dice in his hand. Kakashi is not a coward. But after thinking about it, Kakashi still sent a ninja dog back to report. He squatted down and patted the small ninja dog's head. Pac-kun, take this scroll back to Hidden Leaf Village. This task is up to you. The ninja dog Pac-kun couldn't help but roll his eyes. It was the only ninja dog that could speak human language and communicate with humans. I am a non-combatant ninja dog. You want me to do this kind of thing? This is not a fight, it's just right for your specialty. A smile appeared under Kakashi's mask. Ninja dog Pac-kun. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr Whitebeard knew that Kakashi had sent a small dog back to report. But Whitebeard didn't care. Because this is a small country, Kakashi recalled their current location. Even without a map in hand, his astonishing memory made everything clear in his mind. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the Land of Grass, a neighboring small country located northwest of Hidden Leaf Village. Kakashi explained, although there are also ninja villages in such small countries, due to their small size, it is difficult for them to form unique cultural geography, and they are vastly different from the 5 great nations. This is quite different from One Piece. In the world of pirates, even 2 adjacent islands have very different styles. But these countries in the ninja world, especially in some small countries, their cultural styles have been completely assimilated by the major countries. Most small countries do not show characteristics different from other countries. And this grass country, that's one of them. If they have a ninja village here, does that mean this country also has a Kage? Naruto, who had recovered his emotions and was leaving the Hidden Leaf Village and the Land of Fire for the first time, was curious about everything. Kakashi shook his head and said, "Not every country's strongest ninja in the village can be called Kage. By convention, only the strongest in the 5 great nations can be called Kage by others. We'd better not cause trouble here," Kakashi kindly reminded. "Otherwise, it's very likely to cause a diplomatic incident between the Hidden Leaf Village and the Hidden Grass Village." As soon as this reminder was spoken, Kakashi suddenly paused. He found that this reminder couldn't remind anyone. Remind Naruto? A 5-year-old kid, what trouble could he cause? Remind Whitebeard? He's not from the Hidden Leaf Village at all. Whitebeard is a pirate. Forget what I said. Hey. What's with this giant? And that white-haired guy with a mask looks familiar. The one he's wearing, could it be the forehead protector of the Hidden Leaf Village? In the distance, 3 ninjas were holding telescopes, secretly observing Whitebeard, Kakashi, and Naruto. The 3 people spying in secret were actually ninjas from the Hidden Grass Village. In the end, Whitebeard and his crew brazenly entered the Land of Grass, and Whitebeard's imposing presence was impossible to overlook. Under such circumstances, it's difficult for the ninjas of the Hidden Grass Village who noticed this group of people not to pay attention to them. Hidden Leaf Village forehead protector, white hair, mask, man. Among them, a ninja from the Hidden Grass Village quickly took out a small booklet from his bosom. After flipping through a dozen pages, he was suddenly shocked. This guy is the copy ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village, Kakashi of the Sharingan. What? The other 2 Hidden Grass Village ninjas were also shocked. That booklet was actually a booklet recording ninjas from various villages who were wanted. Under the name Kakashi Hatake, it clearly stated that his bounty was 30 million ryo. Gulp. The 3 Hidden Grass Village ninjas swallowed in secret. Both Kakashi's reputation and his bounty shocked them. Quickly go back and report to the leader. One of them looked nervous and immediately set off. The ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village suddenly came to the Land of Grass. There must be no good. You 2 keep an eye on them. Don't let them leave your sight. Don't let them discover you. The remaining 2 ninjas from the Hidden Grass Village immediately nodded. They held their telescopes and carefully watched Whitebeard and others in the distance. The distance between here and Whitebeard and others was at least 1 kilometer. They thought this distance was safe. Until, in their telescopes, they suddenly saw one of those 3 people, a giant, glance in their direction. They were so scared that their telescopes fell to the ground. Cold sweat broke out on their backs and foreheads. Is it a coincidence? Chapter 54, The Lord of the Land of Grass wants the giant's head. What a rundown country. It can't compare to the Land of Fire at all. Naruto gazed at a town in the Land of Grass not far away. He scratched his head and asked, Dad, is there any need to rob such a place? Rather than calling it a town, it would be more accurate to call it a village. It was even more backward than the villages in the Land of Fire. Looking around, all he could see were old wooden houses. The exteriors of the houses didn't have any particularly bright colors. It gave off a gloomy feeling. Don't compare major countries with minor ones. Can minor countries compare with major ones? Kakashi said helplessly. And can you stop thinking about robbery whenever you see a town? Kakashi felt that Naruto had been led astray by Whitebeard. Who teaches their child to be a pirate? At this moment, Whitebeard and his group, who had entered a rundown town in the grass country, scared the locals quite a bit. A giant who looked very scary, and a ninja with a Hidden Leaf Village headband. They were definitely not to be messed with. As for Naruto, he was ignored. After all, this wasn't Hidden Leaf Village. No one would care about a blonde kid here. Before long, Whitebeard and his group arrived at a tavern in the rundown town. With a terrified expression on the tavern owner's face, Whitebeard grinned and said, Bring out all the fine wine and meat you have here. My stupid son needs to eat a lot of meat every day when he's growing. Okay. The tavern owner was so scared that his legs went soft. He practically slid into the kitchen while leaning against the wall. This scene made Kakashi twitch at the corner of his mouth. But he had to admit that sometimes looking scary was indeed useful. No need to be polite or humble. People would just listen to you obediently. People are afraid of death, after all. While Whitebeard and his group were feasting inside the Hidden Grass Village in the Land of Grass. Haha. My lord, everything can be discussed. The leader of the Hidden Grass Village accepted a money box handed over by the Lord of the Grass Country. He squinted his eyes and smiled. We ninjas do our jobs. My lord doesn't need to worry too much. Humphrey, I hope so. The daimyo of the Land of Grass is a male. He had so much fat on his body that it looked like he was pregnant. Dressed in luxurious clothes, holding a round fan in his hand. The lord glanced at the leader of the Hidden Grass Village. I have a time requirement. I must get his head within a month. And, the head must be kept very intact. If the head is not intact, I can't use it as a specimen for the exhibition. In that case, I won't pay the remaining money. A dignified daimyo, speaking in a calm tone, uttered chilling words. No problem. Please leave it to us. The leader of the Hidden Grass Village smiled. Bang. Suddenly, the office door was rudely pushed open, and a ninja from the Grass Village rushed in, startling the daimyo of the Land of Grass. But when he saw that it was a ninja, the daimyo breathed a sigh of relief. He frowned and grumbled. You ninjas, why don't you understand manners? Don't you know to knock before entering? I'm sorry. It's my lack of discipline. After apologizing, the leader of the Grass Ninja Village glared at the intruding ninja and scolded. What's with all the panic? Leader, there's a situation. the Hidden Grass Village Ninja Weekly said. He detailed everything he had seen and heard, which left the leader of the Hidden Grass Village stunned and his brows furrowed tighter. Hidden Leaf Village, Kakashi Hatake? And a giant? The leader of the Hidden Grass Village also sensed something wrong. Why would the ninjas from Hidden Leaf Village came to the Land of Grass? He had not received any diplomatic visit notice from Hidden Leaf Village. That is to say, the ninjas from Hidden Leaf Village sneaked into the Land of Grass. And the visitor was none other than the famous Kakashi Hatake. Hidden Leaf Village Jonin, who had a bounty of 30 million ryo in the black market. Oh? A giant? The daimyo of the Land of Grass didn't know who Kakashi Hatake was, but he was very interested in the giant mentioned by the ninja. His chubby face trembled, and he even had a smile on his face. Is it some giant syndrome patient? It's a giant over 6 meters tall. The ninja hurriedly answered. Over 6 meters tall? The daimyo was shocked, and his interest grew even stronger. Isn't a giant's head over 6 meters tall bigger than 10 people's heads? Such a big head made into a specimen would surely astonish many people, wouldn't it? He licked his lips, and there was no reverence for life on his face. All he had was an attitude that simply regarded life as ants. I'm going to assign you another ninja mission. The daimyo of the Land of Grass looked at the leader of the Grass Ninja Village. I'll give you 5 million ryo. I also want that giant's head. A perfectly intact giant's head. There must be no damage whatsoever. Daimyo-sama, next to the giant is Kakashi Hatake from Leaf Village. He is a man who once had a bounty of 30 million ryo. The leader of the Hidden Grass Village squinted. A mission reward of 5 million ryo is a bit risky for our Hidden Grass Village. 10 million ryo. The daimyo said. I'm not short of money. If you can get this done, I'll give the Hidden Grass Village 10 million ryo, and an additional 5 million ryo just for you, the leader. As for that Ko-something-she, I won't interfere or touch his bounty of 30 million ryo. Oh right. The daimyo continued. Next year is the time for the Hidden Grass Village to re-elect a new leader. I think you are very suitable to serve 2 terms as the leader of the Hidden Grass Village. What do you think? The leader of the Hidden Grass Village immediately stood up. My lord, I also think that I am very suitable to serve 2 terms as the leader of the Hidden Grass Village. His face was exceptionally bright with a smile. Even if the Hidden Grass Village exhausts all its strength, it will get that giant's head from Hidden Leaf Village for my lord. He assured the daimyo. It was only after seeing off the lord of the Land of Grass that the smile on the face of the leader of the Hidden Grass Village gradually faded. He glanced at the ninja who had barged into his office. You didn't hear anything, understand? The leader of the Hidden Grass Village said expressionlessly. Stand. Puchy, a sharp kunai suddenly pierced through that ninja's throat. The leader of the Hidden Grass Village remained calm. I suddenly feel that only dead people won't talk too much. Ignoring the body that collapsed on the ground. The leader of the Hidden Grass Village stroked the money box given by the lord. He murmured. Kakashi Hatake, who is rumored to have copied thousands of ninjutsu and also has a rumored Sharingan. In fact, the moment he learned that Kakashi had appeared in the grass country, the leader of the Hidden Grass Village was a bit restless. As a small country caught in between, the Hidden Grass Village is considered to be the most shameless one. They would unscrupulously plagiarize other villages' ninja techniques. In order to plagiarize ninja techniques, they would even assassinate ninjas from other countries and steal information from their bodies, thus obtaining foreign villages' ninjutsu. Those ninjas who happened to pass by the Land of Grass would be targeted by the Hidden Grass Village and would be put on a hit list of a ninja village, becoming a target for assassination. Chapter 55, The Uzumaki Clan. Karen and her mother Gorura. My body has returned to its normal state, what a relief. Whitebeard had already downed 8 jugs of strong liquor. He boisterously chuckled, exuding the unmistakable scent of alcohol from every pore of his being. Growing old and plagued by numerous hidden illnesses, Whitebeard rarely enjoyed a good drink, often scolded by his sons when he did. But now, he couldn't care less. Although he wasn't at his prime, a little drink couldn't hurt. After all, what kind of pirate who doesn't drink? Weapons, liquor, treasure, ships, and comrades, these are the life of a pirate. All of them are indispensable. Pouring the 9th jug of liquor into his mouth, Whitebeard grabbed a large platter off the table and started stuffing himself with the prepared meat. In the presence of an ordinary person, it's an immensely large plate, but in the presence of Whitebeard, it's just like an average one. This feeling of eating meat and drinking heavily, it's really nostalgic. In a drunken daze, Whitebeard seemed to hear all his foolish sons, all around him, having a feast, warmly welcoming Naruto to join the Whitebeard pirates. Gorura. Whitebeard looked down at Naruto, who was eating heartily and reached out his finger to mess up Naruto's hair. Foolish son. When you grow up a few years, Dad will take you to get a tattoo of the Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard laughed heartily. Tattoo? Naruto's mouth was stuffed full of meat, making his speech a bit unclear. The large cloak draped over Whitebeard was lifted, revealing the tattoo on his back. Naruto immediately looked excited. Do I also have to get the same tattoo on my back in the future? You can get it anywhere. Whitebeard laughed. Every crew member of the Whitebeard pirates has exactly the same tattoo. Naruto began to think. In the future, he will have the Whitebeard tattoo. Where should he get the symbol of the Whitebeard pirates? Kakashi, on the side, was reading Kaka Paradise book while eating a skewer of grilled meat and mumbling to himself, in a few years, Naruto will still be a child. Should he get a tattoo so young? He looked at Whitebeard, who was laughing non-stop. He sighed quietly. Never mind, he didn't expect a pirate to teach Naruto well. It would be a good thing if Naruto could feel family affection. However, weren't the three of them a bit too high profile in the Land of Grass? The ninjas of the Land of Grass wouldn't have noticed them already, would they? I hope nothing happens. Kakashi wasn't actually worried about Naruto. Mainly because he was by Naruto's side, and so was Whitebeard. Who could touch Naruto? He was mainly worried that the ninjas of the Land of Grass wouldn't know better and provoke someone they shouldn't. In that case, it would be troublesome. This meal, Whitebeard and others ate from day to night. Naruto and Kakashi had long been unable to eat anymore. Mainly because Whitebeard's appetite was incredibly large, and there weren't many chefs in the tavern. They worked themselves to death but couldn't make many dishes. It wasn't until all the chefs in the tavern were exhausted that Whitebeard finally stopped eating. Whitebeard said, "White-haired brat, pay the bill." Kakashi. Don't you and Naruto have a lot of money? Kakashi had to fight for his wallet, and besides, Lord Whitebeard, aren't you a pirate? The implication is, don't all pirates dine and dash? Fool. The Whitebeard pirates are not like those sea scum. Whitebeard flicked his finger at him. Bang. The pain made Kakashi's eyes bulge out. Kakashi held his forehead and protested hastily, Hey. I'm not Naruto. Whitebeard said with vacant eyes, have you ever seen me dine and dash? Kakashi was about to say, every meal of yours is a dine and dash. But he suddenly froze. Phew. When Kakashi came to his senses, he also remembered that although Whitebeard never paid, someone else paid for him, so strictly speaking, it wasn't a free meal. Ah, this. So, Lord Whitebeard, the money you and Naruto snatched. Kakashi was a bit heartbroken. Whitebeard had a big meal. That's the fun for me to establish the new Whitebeard pirate ship. Whitebeard said righteously Kakashi. Although the Hidden Grass village is located in the hinterland of the Land of Grass, the area of such a small country is only about the size of a few cities in the Land of Fire. The leader of the Hidden Grass village decided to act now rather than wait. Today, they will carry out an assassination operation. The primary target is naturally the giant skull that the daimyo wants, followed by Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja from Hidden Leaf Village. These two assassination targets. At least one must be achieved. If Kakashi Hatake of Sharingan is nothing more than a name, then don't hesitate to get rid of him. In this way, through the information on Kakashi's body, they can indirectly master thousands of different ninja techniques. But if Kakashi is strong, so strong that their Hidden Grass village's assassination team can't do anything about him, then, decisively give up this tempting target. Just take away the giant's head. The leader of the Hidden Grass village attaches great importance to this assassination operation. He arranged for 20 members of the Hidden Grass village's Dark Department to participate. The fact that he almost emptied all the forces of the Dark Department shows how much he values this operation. You know, there are definitely more than 30 members in the Anbu of the Hidden Grass village. It can't be compared with the 5 great nations at all. Right. The leader of the Hidden Grass village said to a subordinate, Kakashi Hatake is not simple. Bring that woman along. If we can keep Kakashi Hatake from Hidden Leaf Village, even if we completely drain her this time, it doesn't matter. After all, she still has a daughter. The leader of the Hidden Grass village said, when her daughter grows up a year or two, she can also be used. Yes. Lord. Quick. The leader has an order. Anbu, gather quickly. Quick. Gather quickly. Gather. Gather. The commotion in the Hidden Grass village naturally attracted many people's attention. Among them were a special mother and daughter in the village. They live in a house monitored by ninjas from the Hidden Grass village and have no way to escape from such a den. And even in the ninja world, redheads like them are quite rare. Mommy, what's happening outside? A red-haired little girl named Karen, who was about Naruto's age, looked out of the window with a scared face and said to her mother, the ninjas outside seem to be very anxious. Then she noticed that her mother was changing her clothes. She was changing from comfortable home clothes into ninja combat clothes. Mommy? Karen opened her watery eyes wide. There was some confusion on her face. Karen, maybe Mommy is needed by the village. Karen's mother is actually not that old. She is only in her 20s this year. Her fair face shows some signs of emaciation and thinness. Bang! Just then, two ninjas from the Grass Ninja Village brutally kicked open the door of their house. Hey! Woman! The masked ninja from Hidden Grass Village said maliciously, let's go, don't dilly-dally. There's a situation where you're needed. And also, take off your Hidden Grass Village ninja forehead protector. This time, we can't let anyone know our identity. Chapter 56, Assassination. So annoying, ninja brats. Do you know what the mission is? Karen's mother took a deep breath, instinctively shielding her daughter behind her. May I ask, how many missions are there? She was so thin and weak that it seemed a gust of wind could knock her over. 2 assassination missions. You'll know the rest when you get there. The Anbu from Hidden Grass Village didn't reveal much. His gaze passed over Karen's mother and landed on Karen. He clicked his tongue. You've raised your daughter quite tenderly. Maybe she could be useful too. No. Karen is still young. Uzumaki Fushi hurriedly said. She won't be young for long. We didn't take you mother and daughter in to let you eat for free here. The Hidden Grass Village Anbu dropped this sentence and left directly with Karen's mother. Only Karen was left in the large room. She stared blankly at her mother's retreating figure and those ill-intentioned Hidden Grass Village Anbu. The Uzumaki clan's innate perception ability let her know that those masked ninjas were all bad people. But she couldn't do anything about it. I'm so useless. Late at night. In a rundown small town in the grass country. Naruto woke up in the middle of the night because he had another dream about that tailed beast. The latter was still bad-mouthing his old man Whitebeard, which made Naruto argue with it in the ceiling space. Then he was awakened by anger. What an annoying stinky fox. Naruto couldn't help but mutter. He had accepted the fact that there was a monster inside him, but that didn't stop him from hating it. For Naruto, as long as his pops didn't discriminate or dislike him. Even if there were 9 monsters inside him. He didn't care. Every time I dream of that stinky fox, it badmouths my pops and tries to trick me into tearing off that piece of paper. Naruto stuck out his tongue, blah blah blah. I'm not some big idiot. Although Naruto wasn't quite sure what that piece of paper was. But he knew that the stinky fox meant no good. Oh no, I drank too much. Naruto's face turned awkward, and he quickly crawled out of his bed. He opened the door to his room. And went out to find a toilet. Woo woo woo. Finally found it. After more than 2 minutes, he finally saw a building similar to a toilet. But just as he was about to push the door open, his face suddenly felt cold. Old hush. It's me. Kakashi. Kakashi hurriedly covered Naruto's mouth to prevent him from making too much noise. As it turned out, when Naruto woke up, Kakashi also woke up, but Kakashi keenly noticed that something was wrong. The inn where they were temporarily staying was too quiet, so quiet that they couldn't hear anyone's footsteps at all. It was completely different from when they first moved in. As an Anbu Jounin from Hidden Leaf Village, Kakashi immediately became alert and followed Naruto all the way until Naruto entered the toilet. Then he finally revealed himself. Naruto, listen. Kakashi lowered his voice and said, someone might be after our lives. I don't know if those people are targeting you or me. He slightly loosened his hand covering Naruto's mouth. Naruto widened his eyes. Uncle Kakashi, are we encountering enemies? I don't know. Kakashi shook his head. I hope it's not some enemy, but this idea might be too wishful. Then, Pops. Naruto was worried about Whitebeard. Don't worry. Whitebeard might have noticed something wrong even earlier than I did. Kakashi said, I found that he has a very special perception ability. In fact, what Kakashi said was indeed correct. At the time when his body suffering from hidden illnesses, Whitebeard's observation haki was sometimes effective and sometimes not. But after being treated by Tsunade and Shizune, Whitebeard found that his observation haki had recovered and reached a level where he could use it at will. Even a non-sensory type ninja like Kakashi could sense something was wrong. Not to mention Whitebeard, who has observation haki. At this moment, Whitebeard was resting outside. He couldn't squeeze into the small inns of the ninja world, so the innkeeper could only bring a lot of mattresses and piece together a large bed outside for Whitebeard to rest. Whitebeard was now lying on the piece-together mattress, sleeping soundly, with his Murakamagi at least several meters away from him. Whoosh! 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 A barely audible sound suddenly rang out, and on each tree not far away, several hidden figures stood on their own. One after another, Anbu from the Hidden Grass Village quietly appeared. They skillfully sealed off the entire inn. And their gaze fell on Whitebeard. Whitebeard's exaggerated body size made it hard for them to ignore him, especially since Whitebeard was also sleeping outside the inn. That made him even more eye-catching. Is this the giant that our leader mentioned? A hidden grass village. Anbu licked his dry lips. He thought only he could hear his own muttering, indeed, this is really a giant. This guy has such a thick neck, how many cuts would it take to cut off his head? And this giant seemed to have not noticed their movement. So this was just an ordinary big man. At most because of his large size. His strength was a little bit powerful. But under the assassination of so many Anbu, how much does greater strength matter? Being a ninja. It's all about tactics. One by one, the Anbu of the hidden grass village silently exchanged gestures. In less than 10 seconds, they had decided on their next battle plan. Then, a group of hidden grass village Anbu took several kunai from their ninja tool bags. Each kunai revealed a faint green glow under the moonlight, obviously poisonous kunai. One of the hidden grass village Anbu suddenly made a move. Suddenly, the killing intent burst forth. No one would be so foolish as to alert their target when assassinating someone. Not a single hidden grass village Anbu made a sound. They decisively threw the kunai in their hands quickly. One after another, kunai flew out through the air. Ha! Got him. It seems this giant is just taller. This guy is not a ninja. Just as they were rejoicing, the next moment, their faces stiffened. The speed at which the kunai flew towards Whitebeard was as fast as the speed at which each kunai was deflected. Sparks erupted inconspicuously on Whitebeard's skin. It seemed like it was caused by the collision of the kunai with his skin. What? Does his body made of iron? The kunai couldn't break through at all. This was beyond their expectations. The skin on this giant's chest was clearly exposed. Why can't sharp weapons break through flesh and blood? Gororora! A sudden laugh rang out like a death knell in each grass ninja Anbu's ear. Where did these little ninja brats come from? Did they chase me from Hidden Leaf Village? Whitebeard had already opened his eyes. He sat up as if every hidden grass village Anbu on the scene couldn't escape his sight. So annoying. Little brats. Chapter 57, Little Brat, Don't Threaten Anyone's Family. Damn. I made a wrong judgment. Although their expressions were very ugly, they still unhesitatingly formed seals, using the Hidden Leaf Village ninja technique, Fire Style, Great Fireball. So many ninjas released the Fire Style technique at the same time. Even though these hidden grass village Anbu were very weak. But they had the advantage of numbers. A bunch of Fire Style, Great Fireball came crashing down, and half of the sky in the desolate town was illuminated by fire. Fire again? Can't they come up with any different tricks? Whitebeard punched out in disappointment. This punch didn't use armament hockey, didn't use conqueror's hockey, and didn't use devil fruit ability. It was purely a powerful physical strength that blasted the air. The harsh sound, accompanied by a sonic boom, appeared. The invisible gale that was stirred up instantly drowned the raging fire, and even many of the hidden grass village Anbu were blown away by the gale in their surprised expressions. They fell more than 10 meters away. What kind of ninjutsu is that? Their expressions were horrified. They didn't see Whitebeard forming seals at all. Just then, Whitebeard walked to one side, already wielding his Murakami-giri on the ground. A hint of a heroic smile appeared on his mouth, and he slashed out horizontally. The wind pressure rolled up by Murakami-giri was like a swift and precise attack. The speed was so fast that the hidden grass village Anbu couldn't react at all. The so-called hidden grass village Anbu, naturally, can't compare with Hidden Leaf Village's Anbu. Any Chunin from Hidden Leaf Village's Anbu could be a Jounin ninja in the Kuza's Anbu. If it were a Jounin of Hidden Leaf Village's Anbu, they would definitely realize what they were attacked by. But the hidden grass village Anbu didn't react at all. They just felt a breeze passing in front of them. Then their bodies were cut in half. A hidden grass village Anbu only felt that he inexplicably lost his balance and fell down. When he wanted to launch steadily, he found that his lower body was not under his control at all. He glanced out of the corner of his eye and was shocked to see his lower body was still on the tree. The pain came instantly. He screamed and fell to the ground. His internal organs and whatnot were scattered all over the ground. Fear and pain made him scream while howling towards Swan Place. Damn woman. You come over here. Come over here. Come over here and let me bite you. In the direction he was looking at, there was a red-haired woman trembling with fear, hiding behind a big tree. Bastard. You. If you don't let me bite you, your daughter is dead. The keyword daughter made the woman shiver all over her body. She could only bite her lip and hurriedly run out from behind the tree. Then she ran to that screaming hidden grass village Anbu. She rolled up her sleeves and revealed her fair arm full of tooth marks. The hidden grass village Anbu, who had only one breath left, bit down hard without hesitation and immediately bit through her skin. He was sucking hard on her blood inside. This made the already thin-faced woman look even paler. However, before he could suck a few more mouthfuls, a very heavy footstep next to him made his expression stiffen slightly. And his action paused. Little brat, as a man and warrior, don't threaten anyone's family. Whitebeard's expression had a hint of gloom. In front of the endless fear of the hidden grass village Anbu, he lifted a foot and stomped down like stepping on a mouse. Putchy like stepping on a tomato. There was a large amount of red liquid splashing in all directions under his foot. Cracks were stomped out all over the ground. A deep pit was formed. Monster, monster. The remaining hidden grass village Anbu were lucky. They hadn't fallen to such a tragic death yet, but they watched their comrades die quickly. In almost an instant, less than 5 of the 20 hidden grass village Anbu remained. Quick! Run! They knew what the consequences of deserting in the middle of a mission were, but they were even more clear about what would happen if they stayed here. Quickly go back and tell the leader. This is a giant who is countless times more terrifying than a hidden leaf village Jonin. Unfortunately, it was too late. Whitebeard showed no mercy. He swung his sword back. The hidden grass village Anbu only felt their backs as if they were hit by a rampaging elephant. Poof! They vomited blood from their mouths, the wind pressure shattered half of their bodies rolled up by the Murakamagiri, blood and broken flesh were scattered all over the ground. All the assassination, disguise, and escape techniques they learned were useless in the face of absolute power. They couldn't use them at all. Almost completely annihilated. The reason for adding the word almost is because in front of Whitebeard's feet, there was a young red-haired woman who was scared and fell on her butt, her face full of shock and fear. Whitebeard could see the dense toothmark scars on her arm. Removing those scars would be a lifelong challenge. Kid, your hair reminds me of another kid. Whitebeard's gaze shifted to the woman's red hair, and a trace of reminiscence flashed in his eyes. Pops. Are you okay? Naruto. The voices of Naruto and Kakashi came from inside the inn. Naruto rushed out of the inn in a hurry, while Kakashi was twitching at the corner of his mouth, holding Naruto's torn clothes. He originally didn't want Naruto to come out. After all, Naruto is only 5 years old at the end of the day. It's not wartime now. If something happens decades later, he doesn't know how he would explain to Minato-sensei and Kushina in heaven. Unexpectedly, 5-year-old Naruto was stronger than he thought. He tore his clothes directly. Pops. Pops. Naruto's voice stopped abruptly as soon as he rushed out of the inn. The situation in front of him was indeed a bit too visually shocking for him at this stage of age. There were bloodstains and broken bodies everywhere. The strong smell of blood was very pungent. It's creepy. Gulp. Naruto's throat squirmed. This was countless times more bloody than some scenes he had seen before. Is this the world of adults? Is this the world of ninjas? I told you not to come out. Kakashi stood behind Naruto and sighed softly. Kakashi, who had participated in a ninja war once, had long been accustomed to and immune to such extremely bloody scenes. He looked at Whitebeard. His gaze was unconsciously attracted by a strange woman next to Whitebeard. That head of red hair made Kakashi's pupils shrink, and thousands of memories surged into his heart instantly. Kushina? A name slipped from Kakashi's mouth. His face was full of incredulity. Until his voice and Naruto's seemed to attract her attention. The red-haired woman turned her head in astonishment. The strange face didn't match Kushina at all, which woke Kakashi up from his memories. Oh, it turns out it's not Kushina. Kakashi was a bit stunned. But a head of red hair is indeed hard to ignore. A survivor of the Uzumaki clan? Chapter 58, this matter will be handled by the Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard-sama. Realizing the red-haired woman's complexity, Kakashi, who stepped forward, hurriedly said, "Please show mercy. This woman might have some connection with Naruto." In fact, Kakashi didn't need to ask for mercy. Whitebeard wouldn't harm this red-haired woman. It's not that Whitebeard wouldn't hurt women. But it's because Whitebeard clearly heard what the hidden grass village Anbu said to the red-haired woman. This is a woman whose family has been taken hostage, and she is threatened by hidden grass village. This kind of despicable and shameless behavior. That is what Whitebeard despises the most. However, when Kakashi said related to Naruto, it made Whitebeard interested. Oh? This red-haired brat is related to my stupid son? Yes. Kakashi said solemnly, if I'm not mistaken, she should be from the Uzumaki clan. I didn't expect someone from the Uzumaki clan to appear in the land of grass. Uzumaki clan? TSK. What is Uzumaki? Whitebeard doesn't know what the Uzumaki clan is, but he knows that his stupid son is called Naruto Uzumaki. She is related to me? Naruto was a bit confused. How did a red-haired big sister who suddenly appeared have anything to do with him? I'm not from the Uzumaki clan. What are you talking about? I don't understand at all. Uzumaki Fushi swallowed nervously. She realized that she was now at the mercy of others. Kakashi said, "Your nervousness has betrayed you." "Hey." Naruto gritted his teeth and said, "Since you also have the same surname as me, Uzumaki, why did you attack my pops?" Uzumaki Fushi is Karen's mother's name. She was stunned by Naruto's question. She cast her gaze on Naruto. Are you also an Uzumaki? Why do you have blonde hair? Are you half? Mainly because of Naruto's conspicuous blonde hair. It's not like the Uzumaki clan members. She lowered her head and said, "I haven't attacked you guys. From beginning to end, I just stood behind the tree. They won't give me any ninja tools because in the eyes of those Anbu ninjas, I'm just a mobile medical blood bag." Anbu ninja. Kakashi glanced at the broken bodies on the ground. He didn't see any ninja forehead protectors on the bodies, nor did he see any special signs related to ninjas. "Which ninja village are they from?" Kakashi asked. "They're from Hidden Grass Village." Under the gaze of Whitebeard and Kakashi, Uzumaki Fushi felt an unprecedented pressure. She didn't want to reveal too much information, to avoid implicating her daughter. However, that deep-seated fear and a smell of blood in the air made her unable to control her inner instincts. So, Uzumaki Fushi had to reply with a somewhat bitter tone, "They are all Anbu ninjas from Hidden Grass Village. Damn it. Why did that Hidden Grass Village attack my pops?" Naruto was a bit angry. "We didn't provoke them. We don't even know them." Uzumaki Fushi weakly said, "On the way here, one of the Hidden Grass Village Anbu mentioned that because Daimyo in Land of Grass wants Giant's Head as his specimen collection. And because Kakashi Hatake that has mastered thousands of ninja techniques. Once they can get these techniques from him, Hidden Grass Village can make rapid progress in its foundation and strength. So, their leader launched an assassination operation." Gorara. Head? Whitebeard couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. He could tell that this red-haired brat wasn't lying. He laughed out loud without caring. "I didn't expect that coming to this place in grass country, there would be people who want my head. But are they underestimating me? A group of cats and dogs want to take my head?" Kakashi, with dead fish eyes, expressed extreme helplessness. How did it get connected with Kakashi? "Some of the actions of the Hidden Grass Village. I've heard a bit about them." Kakashi said speechlessly, "I thought it was just a rumor, but they really did it. They were just passing through the Land of Grass. But the Hidden Grass Village targeted them, and they even wanted to kill Kakashi and steal the ninjutsu knowledge from him. This gave Kakashi a headache. Speaking of which, as a member of the Uzumaki clan, why would you stay in such an abnormal ninja village?" Kakashi couldn't help but frown and ask. Where else in the entire ninja world can the Uzumaki clan go? The bitterness on Uzumaki Fushi's thin face intensified. Kakashi suggested, "Isn't Hidden Leaf Village close to Hidden Eddy Village?" "I remember. The relationship between Hidden Eddy Village and Hidden Leaf Village is very good. If that relationship was useful, where was Hidden Leaf Village's support on the day Hidden Eddy Village was attacked and destroyed?" Uzumaki Fushi has long been filled with darkness and despair in her life. She was full of death when she collapsed on the ground. Uzumaki Fushi continued, "But that's also something from the older generation said. I was very young at that time. After that, I wandered around the ninja world for more than 10 years. During that time, I also had a child. After my child was born, I raised her while I came to the Hidden Grass Village. In the end, we were taken in by the Hidden Grass Village." You can hear a bit of regret in her tone. She didn't mind being in a den of evil herself. However, putting her daughter in a den of evil made Uzumaki Fushi particularly regretful. And she felt guilty for her daughter. All she could do was to live hard in the Hidden Grass Village. As long as she lived, her daughter wouldn't be treated as a blood bag. But looking at the current situation, living is also a luxury. "Sister, what's wrong with your hand?" Naruto noticed that Uzumaki Fushi's arm was covered with shocking bite marks. One of the bite marks was very eye-catching and is still bleeding to this day. Uzumaki Fushi stroked the scar on her arm. "I heard that in addition to being able to use powerful sealing techniques, the Uzumaki clan also has a very special kind of recovery ability." Kakashi's dead fish eye carried a bit of gloominess. "Those guys often use your blood to heal their wounds, right?" Kakashi naturally referred to the Grass Ninja Village ninjas. "Your child has also been used by them as a spare part, right?" Uzumaki Fushi remained silent. In such circumstances, just as Uzumaki Fushi bit her lip tightly, she suddenly found that her arm was grabbed by a small hand. She looked up in astonishment. She found that the little boy with yellow hair had came to her side at some point. "Sister, do you want to bite my hand?" Naruto said seriously, "I'm also an Uzumaki. If you drink some of my blood, maybe your scars will heal? It's bad for a girl to have so many scars on her body." Naruto was indignant and very angry. Those guys are too much. How can they bully a big sister like this? Uzumaki Fuashi was stunned. She didn't expect that a strange little boy could show her so much kindness, especially since she had just followed a group of ninjas to deal with them. Her eyes turned red instantly. Tears gushed out. Seeing this, Kakashi's gloominess in his dead fish eyes gradually faded away, revealing a surprised look. He murmured to himself, it seems that Naruto hasn't been taught strongly by Whitebeard. Whitebeard? Maybe he teaches better than third Hokage? Whitebeard suddenly said, stupid son, do you want to take care of this matter? Naruto hesitated for less than 2 seconds. Pops. I want to take care of this matter. Those people are ninjas. How can they be like this? His voice is very childish. But it's decisive. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr bothering at all. You should say, this matter will be handled by the Whitebeard pirates. Chapter 59, Hidden Grass Village Shaken. Giant Attacks. Uzumaki Fuashi was a bit dazed. She felt like she was dreaming, but the pain from her wound made her realize this was not a dream. She didn't expect that these people who killed 20 Hidden Grass Village Anbu actually wanted to stand up for her, a stranger. She was bewildered. Unbelievable. Especially that blonde-haired kid named Naruto Uzumaki, what a sunny child he is. In this situation, he would actually stand up for a stranger? He even wanted her to drink his blood to recover. Of course, Uzumaki Fuashi politely declined Naruto's kindness. Actually, she was somewhat disoriented as she led the way ahead of Whitebeard and the rest. She couldn't fathom why she had abruptly turned into a traitor. After all, ever since the Hidden Grass Village took in her and her daughter, she naturally became a ninja of the Hidden Grass Village. Now, as a ninja of the Hidden Grass Village, she is leading a group of dangerous outsiders straight to the Hidden Grass Village. Is this an act of betrayal? Perhaps it's for Karen. Karen is too young. No matter what, even if it means risking her own life, she can't let Karen continue to stay in that den of evil. With these thoughts in mind, Uzumaki Fuashi's heart became firm. She forcefully endured the weakness of her body and continued to lead the way. Kakashi didn't know what to say anymore. His subconscious told him that running to another ninja village and wanting to attack that ninja village would definitely cause a very serious diplomatic incident. The key is that it even involves the daimyo of Land of Grass. What if Whitebeard is not satisfied with attacking just one ninja village and wants to attack a country's daimyo? That would be bad. But what can Kakashi do? What can he do in this situation? This is the decision made by Whitebeard and Naruto, father and son. He seems to have no say in this matter. Just go with the flow. Kakashi gave up persuasion and resistance. Anyway, if any serious diplomatic incident occurs, those who should worry about it in the end are a group of high-level officials in Hidden Leaf Village. It has nothing to do with him. Just 2 adults, plus a 5-year-old minor, and a traitor from Hidden Grass Village, going against an entire ninja village. This sounds no different from suicide. But Kakashi knew very well that Whitebeard was a man who could even defeat the 3rd Hokage. This man is extraordinary. Late at night. 4 o'clock in the morning. Today so many Anbu ninjas left the village. I don't know what happened. It wouldn't be another war coming, would it? The ninjas guarding the gate of Hidden Grass Village were much poorer than those in Hidden Leaf Village. The ninjas guarding Hidden Leaf Village's gate are all 2 elite chunin. But those guarding the gate of Hidden Grass Village are just 2 geinin. Among them, one Hidden Grass Village geinin worriedly said, "The Great Ninja War just ended not long ago. Surely another war isn't about to start?" TSK. Another geinin quickly said, "Can you not say such unlucky things in the middle of the night? Besides, even if there really is a war coming, so what?" He snorted, "We are at least a country with a ninja village. Moreover, we also have that mother-daughter pair." As these words fell, 2 Hidden Grass Village geinin looked at each other, and both showed an unspoken bloodthirsty smile. There's movement. Suddenly, Hidden Grass Village geinin's pupil shrank. He suddenly heard a strange noise coming from not far away. Over there. Looking in the direction outside the village under the not-so-bright moonlight, they could see a large shadow approaching. The massive shadow seemed to be walking. With each movement, a dull footstep could be heard. Each one struck their hearts, causing the 2 of them to break out in a cold sweat. What is that? A giant bear? They quickly turned on the searchlight next to them. Using the twisted technology tree of the ninja world, they illuminated the area in front of the village gate with the dazzling light of the searchlight. Suddenly, the area in front was brightly lit. Giant. When Whitebeard's tall form appeared, they all exclaimed in shock. In their line of sight, Whitebeard was bare-chested, and his abdomen was covered with muscular muscles. Behind him was a white cloak. In his hand was a huge naginata. In the dark, the sense of oppression was maxed out. Hold on. There are others. Among the two gatekeepers, one had sharper eyes. It's that woman. It's that red-haired woman. Damn it. He cursed with an ugly expression. That woman, could she have become a traitor? Quick. Go and report to the leader. Tonight, the leader of the Hidden Grass Village was woken up from his sleep by his subordinates. He was a bit grumpy when he woke up and wanted to scold his subordinate. But he didn't expect to get a piece of shocking news. The giant targeted by Daimyo, and Kakashi Hatake who he targeted, appeared outside the Hidden Grass Village. What they brought with them was Uzumaki Fuashi, that woman. The pupils of the Hidden Grass Village leader shrank slightly. Giant, Kakashi Hatake, Uzumaki Fuashi, and a blonde kid. Such a strange combination made the Hidden Grass Village leader realize that something big was going to happen tonight. Because he knew very well. In the first half of the night, he had just let the Anbu take Uzumaki Fuashi, this blood-bag tool woman, to assassinate the giant and Kakashi Hatake. But at this moment, his subordinate told him that there was only Uzumaki Fuashi among the Hidden Grass Village ninjas he sent outside the village. What does this mean? The assassination operation is likely to have failed. 20 Hidden Grass Village Anbu, not one survived. In the end, Uzumaki Fuashi was the sole survivor. And this woman betrayed their Hidden Grass Village. Damn it. After thinking it through, the face of the Hidden Grass Village leader could be described as extremely ugly. He immediately ordered his subordinates, immediately now. Gather all the ninjas in the village. Then go and inform Daimyo who is temporarily staying in Hidden Grass Village to quickly take his servants to avoid disaster in the back mountain of Hidden Grass Village. Also, go to Hazuki Castle. The leader of Hidden Grass Village continued, although that man has always claimed that Hazuki Castle is a neutral camp, he is after all from Hidden Grass Village. I don't believe that when a ninja village is attacked by foreign village ninjas, he will still be indifferent. By the way, make sure you capture Uzumaki Fuashi's daughter for me. Don't let that little troublemaker escape. Yes. Lord. The Hidden Grass Village ninja who came to report on the situation saw for the first time that their leader could also be so nervous. Wait. Have someone from the intelligence department send a radio telegram to Hidden Leaf Village, ask why Kakashi Hatake was spotted near the Hidden Grass Village. Yes. The leader of Hidden Grass Village believes that if he takes the initiative to counterattack first, he might be able to repel one of the enemy's powerful forces. Soon, the entire Hidden Grass Village started moving like a rusty machine. One by one, ninjas who were sleeping were awakened. Although many ninjas in Hidden Grass Village thought it was absurd. But it seems that reality is right in front of them. A war seems to have come. Chapter 60, The Invaders of Hidden Grass Village or the Whitebeard Pirates. In just one night, the Hidden Grass Village experienced two disturbances. The first disturbance was when almost all of the Anbu from the Hidden Grass Village went out, which is considered a small disturbance in a ninja village. The second disturbance is now, the village alarm was triggered, and the piercing alarm bell echoed throughout the Hidden Grass Village. Any ninja who has experienced war would feel extremely familiar with this kind of alarm. It could even be said to be PTSD. This is an alarm for foreign invasion. Someone is attacking the Hidden Grass Village at night. The civilians in the village also woke up. A group of civilians, although they didn't know exactly what happened, but their rational minds told them that if they wanted to survive, they should run to the refuge in the back mountain as soon as possible. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr village in the blink of an eye. He found that this village was only 1/10 the size of Hidden Leaf Village. Hidden Leaf Village was not very big to begin with. Unexpectedly, there are even smaller ninja villages in the ninja world. The alarm bell is so loud. But being discovered is within reason. If we weren't discovered, that would probably be a big problem. Kakashi helplessly opened one dead fish eye. He showed an expression of having nothing to live for. Logically speaking, if you want to retaliate against a ninja village, you should scout out some information about that ninja village first. It would be best to turn some ninjas inside and let them respond from within the ninja village. In this way, you can sneak into the human village silently. But Kakashi found that Whitebeard didn't think so. Whitebeard has been walking on the road openly from beginning to end. As if there is no word sneak in his dictionary. There is no word low-key either. So, they were discovered by Hidden Grass Village. Big sister, you don't have to be afraid. At this moment, Naruto, who was the youngest, was comforting Uzumaki Fu, who was in her 20s. My pops is a very powerful great pirate. We Whitebeard pirates will definitely teach these bad guys a lesson. In Naruto's mind, those ninjas in Grass Ninja Village who bullied the mother and daughter like this are definitely a bunch of bad guys. and Uzumaki Fuashi can only squeeze out a smile to respond to Naruto now. She looked at the tightly closed gate of Hidden Grass Village. Karen. Uzumaki Fuashi clenched her fists tightly. She knew that there was no turning back once she drew her bow. Whether Karen could be rescued from the den of evil depends on whether the giant from Leaf Village can withstand an entire ninja village. She actually knew that her current thoughts were too naive and too fanciful. But other than that, she had no other way. Could it be that she had to watch her own daughter fall into the same desperate situation as herself? I'll go as bait. Uzumaki Fuashi's lips turned white. She said firmly, when they put their attention on me, you guys can. Before she finished speaking, she was stunned. Because Whitebeard had already taken a step forward. He ignored Uzumaki Fuashi. His big cloak fluttered in the night wind. Gorura. Whitebeard laughed, just opening a door, why does it need to be so troublesome? At the same time, the two genin guarding the gate of Hidden Grass Village immediately realized that something was wrong because they saw Whitebeard raising his big sword. Not good. The two genin gasped for breath. Their faces changed drastically. Like escaping for their lives, they jumped down from above the high wall. In that instant, Whitebeard's sword had already slashed out. The gates of Hidden Leaf Village couldn't stop Whitebeard's sword, let alone the not-so-large gate of the Hidden Grass Village. There was only a loud bang. The gate of the Hidden Grass Village collapsed with a crash. Ha ha ha. Whitebeard's hearty laughter echoed in the sky above the entire Hidden Grass Village. So it's you little ninjas in this village who want my head, huh? Swish. 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 One after another, ninjas from the Hidden Grass Village appeared on top of the high wall. They were the ninjas who had received orders from the leader of the Hidden Grass Village. They looked at the collapsed ninja village gate and then at the tall and burly Whitebeard in front of them. They were shocked and very angry. Although they were just a small ninja village, they were still a ninja village. In the vast world of ninjas, countries with ninja villages are indeed rare. Under normal circumstances, especially in non-war periods, no one would dare to break into a ninja village forcibly. Because that would mean being an enemy of all the ninjas in a ninja village, and it would also cause a very serious diplomatic incident. But tonight, this happened. Suddenly, a person walked out among a group of ninjas. He was a middle-aged man with a bit of beard on his chin. He was wearing the combat uniform of the Hidden Grass Village and was protected by a few Anbu members. It's the leader. A group of Hidden Grass Village ninjas exclaimed in surprise. This person was indeed the leader of the Hidden Grass Village. The leader of the Hidden Grass Village had a gloomy face. He originally wanted to create his own aura as a leader of a ninja village. But now, when his gloomy gaze met Whitebeard's sharp gaze in midair, his mind was suddenly shocked. His aura instantly lost its ground. There was no comparison at all. The leader of the Hidden Grass Village tried hard to stabilize his emotional fluctuations and glared at Whitebeard and Kakashi with gritted teeth. He shouted, "Giant! And Hidden Leaf Village ninja! Do you know that your actions are invading the Hidden Grass Village? In non-war periods, your Hidden Leaf Village is making aggressive actions. You will face trial in the ninja world's military court." One after another big pots that couldn't be carried were buckled down. Kakashi's face was full of helplessness. He didn't want to come here either. But he had no choice. Kid. Calling a middle-aged man with a beard kid is no problem for Whitebeard at all. He grinned and laughed domineeringly. Are you stupid? It's not Hidden Leaf Village that's invading you. Huh? The leader of the Hidden Grass Village was taken aback. What does giant mean? Gorura. Whitebeard laughed loudly. The Whitebeard pirates are here to conquer your village. The moment his voice fell, Whitebeard, who was holding Murakamagiri with both hands, had already posed an attack stance. Also, at this moment, a strong sense of crisis enveloped the heart of the leader of the Hidden Grass Village. He didn't even have time to think about what kind of power Whitebeard pirates have. His survival instinct urged him to leave this place quickly. Bang! The ground under Whitebeard's feet shattered instantly. When he appeared again, he had already approached the high wall in front of the collapsed gate of the Hidden Grass Village. Beneath Whitebeard's incredible might, Murakamagiri, when swung, even caused its long hilt to bend. The huge Murakamagiri is pitch black, wrapped in armament hockey. Majestic. No one can stop it. Gorura. Remember. This is Whitebeard pirates. Hidden Leaf Village. There is a certain time difference between Land of Grass and Land of Fire. It is 4 o'clock in the morning in Land of Grass, which is exactly 2 o'clock in Land of Fire. The Hidden Leaf Village Intelligence Department seemed to have received some news. They exploded instantly. Among them, a Jounin ninja from Hidden Leaf Village Intelligence Department hurriedly took a translated telegram and rushed to Hidden Leaf Village Hospital in a hurry. He didn't care whether Third Hokage was asleep or not. He directly pushed open the door of the ward with one hand. He shouted in surprise, "Hokage-sama! Something bad has happened." Chapter 61, Conqueror's Hockey. "I am Whitebeard. Hokage-sama. There's a big problem." A jonin from the Hidden Leaf Village Intelligence Department just pushed open the door of the ward, only to see that the third Hokage was not asleep but was half sitting on a bed. He also saw a small ninja dog in the Hokage's arms. The ninja dog was actually speaking human language. "That's how it is. This is what Kakashi asked me to bring back. More detailed stuff is in that scroll." I see." Saratobi Hiruzen's eyes revealed an unprecedentedly gloomy look. Completely different from his usual kind image. The aura of a ruler only permeated at this time. Saratobi Hiruzen didn't expect that. Just as he was about to recover, a ninja dog from Kakashi would bring such bad news. He originally thought that Whitebeard taking Naruto out of Hidden Leaf Village was already the limit. He didn't expect him to take Naruto out of the Land of Fire. This simply touched another bottom line of Hidden Leaf Village. What's more unexpected is that Whitebeard is such a pure pirate. He occupied 2 towns in the Land of Fire, and openly declared that from this moment on, those 2 towns are under the protection of the Whitebeard pirates. From now on, those 2 towns in the Land of Fire need to pay a protection fee to the Whitebeard pirates. What's the difference between this and conquering lands? What's the difference between this and starting a war? Does that damn pirate take Hidden Leaf Village into consideration? Does he take the daimyo and nobles of the Land of Fire into consideration? Audacious. Brazen. Struggling to steady his fluctuating thoughts, Saratobi Hiruzen glanced at the jonin from the Hidden Leaf Village Intelligence Department and asked him, "What happened?" The jonin from the Hidden Leaf Village Intelligence Department immediately handed over the translated telegram text to Saratobi Hiruzen, who was half sitting on the bed, and added, "Hokage-sama, this is a telegram from Hidden Grass Village." Hidden Grass Village? Saratobi Hiruzen's gloomy face suddenly froze. What is Hidden Grass Village doing sending an urgent telegram in the middle of the night? He unfolded the paper and looked at it. His old face immediately became very colorful. The red, green and blue face clearly showed his emotions. Is this how Kakashi watches over Whitebeard and Naruto? He actually invaded Hidden Grass Village with Whitebeard? Saratobi Hiruzen was dumbfounded. Wait. Whitebeard wants to invade a ninja village with Naruto? This is bad. If it were just Whitebeard it would be fine, but the problem is that Whitebeard brought along Kakashi Hatake and Naruto Uzumaki. The former is a jonin from Hidden Leaf Village as Anbu. The latter is Hidden Leaf Village as Jinchuriki. In this case, will Hidden Grass Village suspect that Hidden Leaf Village is behind this invasion? If word gets out, will the entire ninja world think that Hidden Leaf Village has ambitious intentions and wants to start the 4th Great Ninja War? The things Whitebeard did. Does he want Hidden Leaf Village to take the blame? Whitebeard. Saratobi Hiruzen almost couldn't catch his breath. He gritted his teeth and squeezed out this nickname from his mouth, wishing he could chew Whitebeard to pieces. However, he quickly realized, faced with such a major event that could likely trigger a war, the current Hidden Leaf Village really didn't know how to stop it. The Grass Country is indeed a neighboring country of the Land of Fire. The problem is, if they send people to the Land of Grass now, will they make it in time? Land of Grass Hidden Grass Village Whitebeard, wielding the Murakamagiri, unleashed a powerful and fierce slash, and no one in the entire Hidden Grass Village could stop it. The terrifying hurricane rolled out by Murakamagiri was unstoppable. In an instant, the entire front wall of the Hidden Grass Village was shattered by Whitebeard's slash, and the unmatched impact swept all directions. The Hidden Grass Village ninjas standing on it, under the condition of not being able to react at all, were hit by an unprecedented blow. Their faces changed drastically, and they vomited a mouthful of crimson blood. A group of Hidden Grass Village ninjas were blasted away. They fell all over the place like scattered flowers. The wind pressure from this fierce slash was more like a swordsman's strike, and a dazzling white light flashed in the sky above the Hidden Grass Village. Swish. All buildings over 15 meters high in the Hidden Grass Village were cut off. The entire ninja village seemed to have been shaved off. At first glance, it's incredibly flat. Bang. The hurricane blew away a chunin from Hidden Grass Village and fell heavily into a house in the village. He had already vomited a mouthful of old blood in midair, and now he couldn't help but vomit another mouthful of fresh blood. His whole body was in a terrible state. Monster, monster. When he struggled to get up, his face was already full of terrified expressions. The leader of Hidden Grass Village was one of the few who were not blasted away. He hurriedly hid with a few Anbu members around him at a critical moment. He didn't expect that his bad premonition would come true. If he had hidden just 1 second later, there would definitely be big trouble. The leader of Hidden Grass Village landed on the roof of a house in the village. The gusty wind blowing on his face made his skin tremble slightly. Within his field of vision, everything he saw was a mess. Gulp. The leader of Hidden Grass Village heard the sound of swallowing saliva. It came from an Anbu member next to him. He didn't reprimand him because even he, as the leader of the Hidden Grass Village, showed an expression of extreme horror. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr small ninja brats, don't you really want my head? Undoubtedly, it's the most terrifying death signal. Under his fierce slash, scared an entire ninja village. You're the head of this ninja village, right? Whitebeard's disdainful gaze swept over the hidden grass village leader, causing the leader's hair to stand on end and cold sweat to seep from his forehead and back instantly. Whitebeard suddenly smiled. Since you want to take my head, let me see how much the strongest force in your broken village weighs. What? Is this giant coming for him? Wait a minute. The hidden grass village leader turned pale with fright and hurriedly shouted. We have hostages here. Don't act rashly. He glared at the Anbu beside him and yelled anxiously. Bring that red-haired brat over here. No. Not just her. Bring all the underage kids in the village over here. Use those brats as hostages. A ninja village leader using the children of his own village as hostages to threaten invaders. This kind of operation is unheard of. It's simply breaking people's bottom-line cognition. But realizing what kind of monster is invading Hidden Grass Village, the Hidden Grass Village leader can't care about morality or immorality. Anyway, he has no morality to speak of. Hey, isn't that going too far? Kakashi narrowed his eyes. Using your own village's children as hostages to threaten foreign enemies, what's wrong with this village's thinking? Karen. Uzumaki Fuashi immediately thought of her daughter. She had no idea that the grass ninja leader's morality was so low. Naruto's eyes widened, and his young mind was greatly shocked. Big bad guy. Naruto gritted his teeth. The Hidden Grass Village leader sensed the impending disaster and couldn't care less. The crooked Anbu members of Hidden Grass Village didn't think there was anything wrong with what the leader did. The thinking of this village is problematic. Not a single ninja is normal. Giant. If you dare to take one step forward, we will kill every kid in this village. The Hidden Grass Village leader shouted with a pale face. Wait. Why are you still daring to move forward? The Hidden Grass Village leader's eyes widened. He admitted that he was panicked. Ninja brat, are you using the lives of your village comrades to threaten a pirate? You should know that even if one is a pirate, they still uphold the principles of the sea. You're worse than a pirate. Whitebeard's eyes narrowed slightly. His aura was like that of the King of Hell, the air around him was twisting in waves, and a murderous intent permeated the entire Hidden Grass Village. Do you think such a ridiculous threat can make me retreat half a step? I am a pirate. Suddenly, black arcs flashed around Whitebeard's body. The legendary Conqueror's Haki wrapped around. For the first time, it appeared in the ninja world. I am Whitebeard. Chapter 62, The Leader is dead. Whitebeard leaped up to a height of several tens of meters. As his robust body fell, the Murakamagiri in his hand also slashed downwards. A large amount of black arcs flickered through the air. Like a falling meteor. The momentum was surging and towering. Quick! Protect me! Protect me! The intense sense of crisis and death made the Hidden Grass Village leader scream in terror, his hands hurriedly forming seals. The few Anbu members around him also hurriedly took action. Suddenly, the Hidden Grass Village leader and several Hidden Grass Village Anbu simultaneously used ninjutsu. Earth-style, multiple earth wall encirclement. Thick semicircular earth walls rose from the left and right sides, layer upon layer of earth walls began to close rapidly. With a bang, a mini mound appeared on the ground. The semicircular mound enveloped the Hidden Grass Village leader and several Hidden Grass Village Anbu, providing a defense comparable to steel. However, it was useless. The Murakamagiri wrapped in Conqueror's Haki, this kind of overkill method, represented Whitebeard's contempt for such people. This Hidden Grass Village leader is a despicable and shameless person. Even pirates would look down on him. Boom boom boom. The blade of the Murakamagiri didn't even touch the semicircular mound, the Conqueror's Haki wrapped around the blade had already touched it from a distance. The deafening roar was like a bomb exploding in one's ears. That semicircular mound was instantly crushed into dust. The unparalleled terrifying power made the Hidden Grass Village leader and several Hidden Grass Village Anbu inside show desperate expressions. Boom. 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 Their flesh and blood bodies were like watermelons being crushed. All the Anbu members of Hidden Grass Village had their bodies all exploded. The Hidden Grass Village leader's body and expression were extremely twisted. His limbs and bones were exploding inch by inch. Ah! Spare me! Accompanied by a scream for mercy, he only managed to say one word before his twisted head suddenly exploded. Turned into droplets of blood rain. But this has not ended. Whitebeard's blade wrapped in Conqueror's Haki did not lose momentum. It fell on the ground beneath his feet. The earth shattered. The entire hidden grass village was undergoing violent tremors. Invisible shockwaves turned into surging hurricanes spreading outwards. The devastating gusts of wind were comparable to an S-rank wind-style ninjutsu. Houses couldn't stand for even a few seconds. The foundations of the houses were all uprooted. The hidden grass village ninjas, who had been swept away earlier and had barely managed to get up, were once again blown away by the powerful waves. One by one, the big trees were also uprooted. Several meters of soil were peeled off. The scene was like a purgatory. Not good. Outside the village, Kakashi narrowed his pupils, and he decisively formed a seal with both hands, earth-style wall. Chakra was quickly consumed. A huge earth wall carved with several dog heads rose from the ground in the blink of an eye, protecting him, Naruto, and Uzumaki Fushi. At the same time, the surging waves hit the earth wall, and the thick earth wall burst inch by inch. Kakashi was so scared that he released another earth wall, consuming some of his pitifully small amount of chakra. Only then did it barely hold up. The apocalyptic scene inside the entire hidden grass village made people wonder if such a large ninja village would disappear directly from the ninja world map under Whitebeard's strike. After a minute, the waves finally dissipated. Kakashi carefully poked half of his body out from behind the earth wall. He first looked at the two earth walls he had released. The first earth wall had been destroyed to the point where it couldn't be looked at directly. The second earth wall barely remained intact. It's just that the few dog heads carved on it were shattered. Kakashi's eyelids jumped wildly at the sight. If we were hit head-on by the aftershock of that wave, that feeling, I'm afraid, it's not inferior to being crushed by a mountain. Kakashi was quite apprehensive. He, as a ninja, was fine. Mainly, he was afraid that Minato-sensei's child would die here. He then turned his gaze to the hidden grass village in front of him. Kakashi was stunned. Uncle Kakashi, what happened? Naruto also weakly poked his head out. The commotion just now scared him so much that he didn't dare to come out from behind the earth wall. Only now, Naruto dared to crawl out from behind the earth wall with Kakashi. He also looked at the hidden grass village in front of him. Naruto's pair of azure eyes gradually widened, until they widened to an extreme. Is this Pops's power? When Naruto murmured this sentence, the strong shock in his tone was indescribable with words. Naruto, your father seems to have almost destroyed a ninja village with just a simple slash, Kakashi said in a horrified tone. Because as they looked around, everything was in ruins. Most of the buildings in the grass ninja village were destroyed and turned into ruins, with 2/3 of the village area being leveled. A huge pit with a diameter of several hundred meters appeared on the ground in the village. As for how deep it was simply impossible to measure. Numerous cracks in the earth, centered around Whitebeard slash, covered the entire grass ninja village. Unlike the cracks caused by the quake fruit, these cracks were straight. The largest crack was as wide as a river. The smallest crack was at least as wide as a finger. Similarly, it was difficult to measure the depth of the cracks. It was known that if someone accidentally fell in, they might lose half their life. Even being smashed into a pulp was not impossible. If I'm not mistaken, Kakashi said, the leader of Hidden Grass Village is probably in heaven now, right? In an instant, a ninja village leader was killed. This unbelievable. The entire Hidden Grass Village Anbu was almost wiped out, along with the death of the Hidden Grass Village leader. The reason for saying almost is because the Hidden Grass Village leader had previously sent an Anbu to capture all the children in the village to threaten the enemies invading the ninja village. Although such an operation is against heaven's will, it does have a lot of use if faced with enemies with high moral standards. But when the last Anbu ninja of Hidden Grass Village was preparing to go around capturing people, he was blown over by a gust of wind coming from behind. When he finally struggled to get up, he was suddenly horrified to find that he was enveloped by a shadow. He swallowed nervously in his embarrassment. He stiffly turned his head to look back. But before his head had turned halfway, he was shocked to find that he had been picked up by someone. Whitebeard's voice rang out behind him. Ninja brat, what do you want to do? The gloomy tone sounded like a question from the Lord of Hell, scaring this Hidden Grass Village Anbu so much that he shivered all over and unconsciously felt like urinating. Drip. Drip. The only Anbu member left in Hidden Grass Village dropped his mask on the ground. He tried hard to squeeze out a smile, trying to make his face look less ugly. I want to take you to rescue the children in our village. Especially that red-haired girl. She is the most special child in our village. At this moment, he had already seen the devastated scene behind him. He had already been scared by Whitebeard, almost fainted again from fright. He realized that their leader was dead. Hidden Grass Village was also gone. Chapter 63, Kid, How about calling me Pops? Uncle, can you let me out? Karen's little face was full of worry. She was currently in a basement in Hidden Grass Village being watched over by a Gainin from Hidden Grass Village. Shut up. Stinky brat. The Hidden Grass Village Gainin glared at Karen fiercely, saying anxiously. You want to get out, I want to get out too. The problem is, he can't get out. This Gainin from the Hidden Grass Village didn't know what had just happened. He only heard a deafening roar. Then, the whole basement seemed about to collapse. The walls of the basement were full of cracks, avoiding being covered with dust and rubble, making people suspect that it would collapse in the next second. When the noise disappeared, this Hidden Grass Village Gainin originally wanted to go out and see what was going on. But he found that the entrance to the basement was blocked. He had a bad feeling. Damn it. He cursed under his breath. Could it be that the building above collapsed and completely blocked the entrance? That would be terrible. His original task was to keep Uzumaki Fuushi's daughter under control. As long as the leader needed her, he would take this red-haired brat to the leader. But now, even if the leader needs this red-haired brat, he can't take this brat out. After all, he can't get out himself. The Hidden Grass Village Gainin felt a bit of pain on the back of his hand. He looked down and found that his hand had been scratched at some point. Was it scratched by some rubble just now? Hey, brat. Come here. He squinted his eyes. With ill intent, he said. What are you dazed for? Come here quickly. Uncle, are you going to take me out? Karen was full of surprise. She was very worried about her mother. She didn't know what her mother had been taken to do. She just hoped that her mother was safe and sound. Karen, who lacked a sense of security, wanted to see her mother right now even more. Don't talk nonsense. When I tell you to come over, you come over. The Hidden Grass Village ninja grabbed Karen's little hand. He directly tore Karen's sleeve. Under Karen's horrified gaze, he bit down without any hesitation. His teeth pierced through the tender skin of the child. Ah! It hurts. Karen cried out in pain with tears in her eyes. The Hidden Grass Village ninja Gainin sucked hard a few times, and with a look of fear and tears on Karen's face, he let go with a face full of intoxication. TSK. The corner of Hidden Grass Village ninja's mouth still had Karen's bloodstains. He was savoring the special nature of the Uzumaki clan's blood. Then he looked down at the wound on the back of his hand. It had already disappeared. Indeed, it's amazing. He pushed Karen away, causing Karen to retreat continuously and fall to the ground after a few stumbles. Get lost. You little brat. For a freak like you, your blood is the most useful thing about you. Suddenly, more rubble and dust fell from above the basement. But this time, it was not due to destruction. It was more like someone was digging. Seeing this, the Hidden Grass Village ninja was overjoyed, and he hurriedly shouted upwards, There are people here. There are people in the basement. Quickly save me. There's not much air left inside. Save me quickly. Just as he shouted these words, suddenly, a large hole was broken above his head. But before he could be happy, this Hidden Grass Village ninja was shocked to discover that the hole was not broken by any tool but by an outrageously large hand. Wait, what? He wanted to dodge quickly, but he couldn't dodge at all. That sudden large hand grabbed him, binding his hands and feet, making him unable to move for a moment. In extreme fear, he was pulled out. Being rescued from a basement that was about to collapse, logically speaking, he should be happy. But at this moment, he was even more terrified than in the basement. He saw a monster. It's a giant. You ninja in this village, whether you are Jonin, Chunin or Gainin, you all make me sick. Whitebeard, with his incredibly powerful observation haki, could clearly know what happened in the basement. When he grabbed this Hidden Grass Village ninja, his palm slowly exerted force. Wait a minute. Bang. The words abruptly stopped. The blood from the exploded body was blown away before it even touched Whitebeard's skin. Hidden Grass Village ninja, what do you have to say? Whitebeard glanced at the trembling Hidden Grass Village Anbu next to him. It was this Anbu who brought Whitebeard here. Sir, you did well in killing him. The Hidden Grass Village Anbu was sweating profusely. He tried to squeeze out a humble smile. The ninja way of the Hidden Grass Village is indeed too deformed. Every ninja inside deserves to be punished. Except for me. He quickly added, although but I am loyal to you, sir. With just one word from you, I can become your most loyal dog. Being a dog for the Whitebeard pirates is my honor. He had previously known at the high wall of Hidden Grass Village the giant before him claimed to be from the Whitebeard pirates. Although he didn't know what kind of force this was. But it doesn't prevent his survival instinct from being full. Sir, please wait, I will help you go down and bring up Uzumaki Fuushi's daughter. A dignified Anbu, in order to survive, has been humbled to this point. He hurriedly drilled into the basement. When he saw Karen curled up in the corner trembling, With tears in her eyes, he was immediately scared, and his legs went soft. Little girl, don't be afraid. The villain who hurt you just now has been defeated. The Hidden Grass Village Anbu tried hard not to scare Karen, because he was afraid that his fate would be the same as that of the Ganon just now. You come over here. He had a flash of inspiration. Your mother, she has returned to Hidden Grass Village. Karen, who was curled up in the corner with fear in her eyes, immediately raised her little head. Mom is back? Karen hurriedly stood up, but her little leg hurt. She almost fell down again. But she still held on with her willpower. Soon, with the help of the Hidden Grass Village Anbu, she came up. But Karen found out that she had been deceived. There was no mother in front of her, only a pair of big shoes, which made her very disappointed. She looked up in confusion and disappointment. For being deceived by others, she seemed to have gotten used to it as a young child. Until she saw Whitebeard's body. Her face was full of shock. Cough. Karen, it was this gentleman who saved you. The Hidden Grass Village Anbu immediately said, the person who defeated the villain who hurt you is this gentleman. Karen's big watery eyes widened. You saved me? Whitebeard's huge figure seemed to be dyed with a layer of holy light in Karen's dazed eyes, making her eyes twinkle slightly. Red hair again and bitten mark in her hand. Whitebeard raised an eyebrow. Little girl, are you the daughter of that woman named Uzumaki? This sentence made Karen's shocked and disappointed little eyes instantly reignite hope. My mother is Uzumaki Fushi. She said her mother's name. Her obsession with family affection offset her fear of the giant. She anxiously asked, Grandpa, do you know where my mom is? Grandpa. Whitebeard was taken aback and then laughed heartily. Gorrrr. Little girl, it's not good to call me Grandpa. Looking at the timid Karen, Whitebeard made a light joke. Little girl, call me Pops and I'll take you to find your mother. How about that? Gorrrr. Karen was confused and understood. But she desperately wanted to know about her mother's safety. Pops. Chapter 64, Karen, Pops. Thank you. Oh my god. What's going on with this little devil from the Uzumaki clan? Can't she see that this giant gentleman was just joking? She actually agreed? It's over. By doing so, this little devil wouldn't anger the giant, right? Could this potentially impact me as well? Karen's words scared the Hidden Grass Village Anbu so much that his lips were trembling. He kept blinking, giving Karen secret signals. Unfortunately, he overestimated a child's ability to read faces. Karen didn't notice him at all. Pops. I called you Pops, can you take me to see my mom? Karen pleaded with a small face. The Hidden Grass Village Anbu quickly cast his gaze on Whitebeard's face. He was shocked to find that the smile on Whitebeard's face gradually faded. Such a change in expression made him shudder. Gorrrr. However, Whitebeard laughed even more heartily, happier, and more heroic in the next moment. Naruto, that stupid son, hesitated for quite a while. Kakashi, that white-haired brat, even refused me more than a dozen times, each time with a different reason. Unexpectedly, you little brat, are so decisive. Whitebeard picked her up under Karen's terrified expression. But Karen's terrified expression quickly turned into astonishment. Because Whitebeard didn't do anything to her. Instead, he put her petite body on his shoulder and let her sit on his sturdy shoulder. Little brat. In the Whitebeard Pirates, once you shout Pops, you can't regret it. Whitebeard grinned and said, I've heard your name from your mother. Karen, right? Gorrrr. From today on, you are my first daughter in the ninja world. Karen, the Pops you just called means father. Gorrrr. Pops. Father. Karen's little face was stunned. Her little brain didn't turn around for a moment. I am going to have a father? She was stunned. Her small brain overload. Does your arm still hurt? Whitebeard turned his head and asked Karen. Karen nodded her head. Being bitten through the skin and flesh by teeth, for a child not crying out loud is already much stronger than her peers. Brat, do you know medical ninjutsu? Whitebeard's gaze glanced at the dumbfounded Hidden Grass Village Anbu. No, not very proficient. The Hidden Grass Village Anbu was scared by Whitebeard's eyes and immediately changed his words, but I can't try. The medical ninjutsu of this Hidden Grass Village Anbu is indeed terrible. He had exhausted all his strength and was sweating profusely. As a result, he could only heal Karen's arm wound, but he couldn't eliminate the scar after healing her. Karen looked at her still faintly painful wound. And then she looked at the concern on Whitebeard's face. For some reason scenes of her and her mother being bullied by the ninjas in the Hidden Grass Village flashed through her mind. During the time she grew up in Hidden Grass Village, apart from her mother who cared for her, no one else had ever cared for her so much. Even if Whitebeard just asked how her wound felt, a warm current surged in Karen's heart. She actually lacks love and care. Otherwise, in the future, she wouldn't suddenly be devoted to a certain person because of an accidental life-saving favor. Whitebeard saved her. Whitebeard defeated the bad guy in her heart. Whitebeard could take her to see her mother. Whitebeard cared about the injury on her arm. These little things in the eyes of outsiders. In Karen's world, they are all big deals, Pops. Karen sincerely said. Thank you. My mother once said that she wanted me to be a person who knows how to be grateful. In the future, if you get hurt, you can directly bite me, so that you can recover. Ow! Karen had just finished saying a sentence of gratitude that seemed normal to her. She covered her head with both hands and cried out in pain. It was Whitebeard who gave her a flick of his finger. The sense of pain and the incomprehension of being wronged made Karen's eyes teary. She looked at Whitebeard quite puzzledly. Fool. Whitebeard said. This is your body. No one in the ninja world has the right to use your body for healing. Your body should not be so abused. Huh? Karen weakly said. But the ninjas in the village treat my mother like this, right? My blood is exactly the same as my mother's, and it can also cure diseases. Karen, do you like this? Whitebeard put away his reprimand and asked seriously. Karen was taken aback. The faintly painful wound on her forearm made her shiver. I don't like it. She sniffed hard, her eyes were a little red, and she was very wronged, but if I don't do this the village will abandon me and my mother. Since you called me Pops, then from today on. Whitebeard said. No one can use your body for healing. No one can force your will. From now on this village is no longer your home. Your new home in the future will be the Whitebeard Pirates. I guarantee these words with the name of Whitebeard. Whitebeard's lofty spirit directly rushed into the sky. Every word he said fell into Karen's ears and was deafening. Children in the ninja world are generally precocious. Even if Karen is not very old, she can still understand what Whitebeard means by these words. The innate Kagura mind's eye. It also allows Karen to perceive that there is no lie in Whitebeard's breath. Everything he said. They are all true. In an instant, Karen's eyes could no longer hold back the tears, her little face was wet with the hot tears that flowed out. She had never felt such warmth in her heart before. This was clearly her first encounter with Whitebeard. She had only timidly called him Pops. Yet he gave her indescribable care. Pops. Father. New home. Family. Karen had no idea where this impulse came from. All she knew was that she desperately wanted to shout out the two words she most wanted to say. So, she shouted out, Pops. And added a sentence. Thank you. Gorrrr. Whitebeard's serious face immediately relaxed, turning into a very cheerful and heroic laugh. Silly daughter, don't stutter when you speak. Louder. Say it again. Karen took a deep breath, her little face flushed, and she shouted with all her might, Pops. Thank you. Gorrrr. This scene of recognizing a daughter and a father left the hidden grass village and Boo next to them stunned. So, pleasing this giant is so simple? If he calls him Pops, can I get a chance? But somehow, he felt that if he dared to shout out these two words, he would definitely be beaten to death. Chapter 65, Naruto's Awakening. The kunai stabbed towards the enemy. Meanwhile, on the other side, hiss. Ah! My fingers. A hidden grass village Chunin who had luckily survived took a sharp breath. He found that he had lost 3 fingers on his right hand and his abdomen was pierced by a stick. The pain from his internal organs made him break out in a cold sweat, soaking his back. The blood was flowing out like a broken wine barrel. The feeling of blood loss made him feel dizzy as if he was suffering from heat stroke. The pain kept him awake. It was unbearable. He hurriedly tried to use chakra to temporarily stop the bleeding. It hurts. Damn giant. The pain of losing fingers made him curse out loud, and that damn traitor, our hidden grass village kindly took in her and her daughter, and she actually betrayed hidden grass village. Just as he was struggling to get up with his injured hand, suddenly he heard a voice. Don't you dare speak ill of Pops. The voice sounded very childish, like a little devil's voice. The hidden grass village Chunin turned around in astonishment. He saw a blonde little devil, who had appeared not far behind him at some point. That little devil looked familiar. Wait. The grass ninja village Chunin suddenly widened his eyes. He finally remembered, and muttered in shock, it's that blonde little devil next to the giant. If this blonde little devil is here, could it be that the giant is also nearby? As soon as this thought came up, it scared him so much that his hair stood on end. He couldn't help but look around, but found no giants around, only this blonde little devil. Huh? This blonde brat. Did he get lost? You should apologize to Pops. Naruto puffed up his face angrily. It was you guys from the hidden grass village who started it, and now you're still bad-mouthing Pops. Brat. The intense pain in his palm made the hidden grass village Chunin extremely irritable, his gaze fixed on Naruto. A cruel smile even crept up on his face despite the pain. You showed up just in time, perfect to be used as a hostage. That way, he could safely escape from the hidden grass village. To avoid ending up like the leader. His other intact palm had already drawn a kunai, and with a swift step under his feet, he appeared in front of Naruto almost in the blink of an eye. His kunai was about to be placed on Naruto's neck. However, an unexpected scene happened before his eyes. This blonde brat actually reacted. Yes. The moment the hidden grass village Chunin disappeared, Naruto felt a darkness before his eyes and suddenly there was an extra figure in front of him. Naruto was so startled that he quickly leaned back. His steps kept retreating. This was just an instinctive action of the body, but it just so happened to create a distance of several meters between him and the hidden grass village Chunin, which left the other party stunned. TSK. The hidden grass village Chunin spat out a mouthful of blood foam. It seems that even a brat is not a simple character. But after all, it's just a brat. Darn it. So you're also a big bad guy. Naruto also held a kunai, which he had picked up from the ground earlier. Ha. Brat, aren't your hands shaking holding that iron kunai? The hidden grass village Chunin sneered. The kunai is a bit heavy. He unabashedly released the killing intent on his body. This made Naruto unconsciously swallow a mouthful of saliva. A Chunin who has killed many people releasing killing intent in front of a child. It can definitely bring fear to this child. Naruto was the same, he was only 5 years old. His hand holding the kunai was trembling a bit, not because the kunai was heavy, but because of an instinctive fear in his heart. No. Naruto suddenly gritted his teeth, and his bewildered and frightened little face was forcibly swept into the corner. I am Whitebeard's son. I am also a member of the Whitebeard Pirates. Pops once said that when I grow up, I will be the captain of the new Whitebeard Pirates first team. Naruto suddenly bit his own tongue tip. The pain made him much more awake. I can't be afraid. Naruto, with blood in his mouth, glared at the Chunin, and his small body exuded a bit of killing intent. He couldn't lose face for the Whitebeard Pirates. Nor could he lose face for Daddy. If he was afraid of even a ninja, what kind of Hokage would he be? What kind of captain of the Whitebeard Pirates first team would he be? Humphrey. You're quite impressive. The hidden grass village Chunin was secretly shocked, but said, but after all, you're just a little devil. You should be quite important to that giant, right? He suddenly had an idea. If I capture this little devil, I can use him to enslave that giant. In this way, that giant can become my fighting slave. As he said this, he suddenly felt a pain in his abdomen. The pain made him break out in a cold sweat and couldn't help cursing. Damn it, that shit-like giant. Don't insult my pops. The small body erupted with speed beyond its age. Naruto's month-long overload suicide weight training showed its effect at this moment. Naruto clenched the kunai he had picked up. Without knowing any techniques, he directly charged at the hidden grass village Chunin. Like an enraged piglet. What? The hidden grass village Chunin was suddenly shocked. But in the next instant, he showed killing intent. Just as he was about to make a move with his hand, he suddenly found that his hand was controlled by someone. He hurriedly turned his head to look. He was horrified. Ha. Hata. Kakashi Hatake? Kakashi grabbed the man's wrist. A dead fish eye glanced at him. How can a dignified ninja kill a child? Kakashi's calm words just fell. Pucci the hidden grass village Chunin's eyes widened instantly, his pupils trembling. He slowly looked down at his abdomen. Then, Naruto, who was rushing towards him, had already run to his front, and the kunai in Naruto's hands was even thrust into his body. Naruto didn't expect it to be like this, he simply didn't want the other party to speak ill of his pops. Every time the other party said something negative about pops, his anger would intensify. Warm blood had already soaked Naruto's hands. The feeling of a kunai piercing into a human body is no different from slaughtering a pig. It went in with a plop. Naruto. Kakashi stopped the hidden grass village Chunin, but did not stop Naruto. This is the world outside of Hidden Leaf Village. He looked at Naruto and said. If you can't stand this feeling, you should go back to Hidden Leaf Village. Kakashi's words stimulated Naruto. Naruto was about to let go of his hand, but suddenly he gripped the kunai tightly again and pushed the kunai deeper into the body with force. Until the kunai was completely gone. Naruto, who was only 5 years old, gritted his teeth and said. I must follow Pops. I also have such a resolve, this is my ninja way as Naruto Uzumaki. Hey. Blood kept gushing out of the hidden grass village Chunin's mouth. His face was full of despair and incredulity. A headache. It seems like I unintentionally made your will even stronger. Under Kakashi's mask, he revealed a smile that only he himself could know. He himself was a bit unclear whether he did it on purpose or accidentally. But kids shouldn't kill people. It will leave you with psychological shadows. Wait until you grow up a little bit. Kakashi directly twisted off the neck of this hidden grass village Chunin, finishing the other party's life. Chapter 66, Daimyo? You want my head, don't you? The turmoil in the hidden grass village came quickly and left just as quickly. Some of the villagers didn't even know what had happened. All they knew was that there were 2 waves of disturbances in the village, which scared them into running to the back mountain for refuge. Then, there was a thunderous rumble, followed by what seemed like someone roaring in anger. Finally, the entire ground was shaking violently. Those hiding in the back mountain watched as a large number of buildings in the hidden grass village collapsed. They could also see billowing dust rising into the sky. Even hiding in the back mountain, they were still blinded by the dust. The whole scene was like the end of the world. It wasn't until the commotion in the hidden grass village finally disappeared that a group of terrified civilians dared to speak up. Gulp. Someone swallowed nervously, looking at the situation in the hidden grass village, and murmured in horror, "Did my house collapse? What on earth happened? Is it war? It shouldn't be, right? If it were war, how could it disappear so quickly? It looks more like something exploded. What on earth are those ninjas doing? They've knocked down so many houses, where are we supposed to live? Shush. You can't let the ninjas in the village hear that. Be careful or they'll expel you from the village. There should still be people who haven't retreated to the back mountain, right?" The surrounding commotion made the daimyo of the land of grass quite irritable. He and his retainers were also hiding on the back mountain of hidden grass village. This godforsaken place had no air conditioning or fans. The heat made him constantly fan himself with his round fan. After fanning until his hand was sore, he finally couldn't stand it anymore. Let's go. Let's go down and take a look." The daimyo of the land of grass said to his retainers behind him, "There's no movement down there now. I guess the invaders have been dealt with. I don't want to stay in this godforsaken place for a moment longer. Daimyo-sama, be careful." A retainer dressed as a samurai hurriedly said, "What if? Are you challenging my words?" The daimyo glanced at him coldly. No. The retainer was sweating profusely. The daimyo covered his eyes with his round fan and sighed regretfully, "Kill him. I don't want disobedient people. Kill him cleanly. I can't stand 2 bloody scenes." "Wait. Daimyo-sama. It's a misunderstanding. I'm very loyal to you." Pucci. Sigh. The daimyo of the land of grass showed pity. "It's a pity you're too ugly to be included in my specimen collection. You've missed an opportunity to make a name for yourself nationwide. Let's go, carry me down," he said to his other retainers. "Yes. Daimyo-sama." The actions of the daimyo of the land of grass scared his remaining retainers and a group of civilians hiding in the back mountain quite a bit. The whole back mountain became quiet. The bodies on the ground were still bleeding. It was creepy. A group of terrified civilians who dared not make a sound could only watch as 2 retainers struggled to carry down the daimyo's several hundred kg body from the mountain. It didn't take long. The daimyo of the land of grass had people put him down because they had already come down from the mountain. He complained, "This mountain road is too narrow, my carriage can't be lifted up. It's uncomfortable to walk. Lord Daimyo, it's our lack of skill in carrying people." The retainers had no choice but to hurriedly apologize. The daimyo of the land of grass ignored them. He held a round fan in his hand and looked ahead. His brows furrowed deeply. "Has the place where I'm temporarily staying also collapsed? What are those ninjas doing? Don't they know to send someone to protect the place where I live? What's with those brats?" The daimyo of the land of grass looked ahead again at some brats from the hidden grass village. A group of ragged hidden grass village childrens. He didn't like what he saw. "Lord Daimyo, those should be children who didn't have time to evacuate. They run slower than adults after all, but they seem to have luckily survived the explosion." The daimyo of the land of grass's retainers quickly explained for his lord. "They're too ugly. They're dressed too ugly." After the daimyo commented with a frown, he gently fanned his fan as if to fan away a non-existent smell. "Later, go and talk to the leader of the hidden grass village and ask him to sell these ugly brats in the village." His calm tone carried a hint of disdain. Selling these brats can also subsidize some funds for this village. After all, hasn't he always been doing this? Okay. A retainer swallowed nervously. "We will mention this matter to the leader of the hidden grass village. The next time Lord Daimyo comes here, you will definitely not see these ugly brats." Just as the daimyo of the land of grass was walking, as he passed by that group of children, his obese body suddenly stopped. "I've changed my mind. Who made me the daimyo of the land grass born with a compassionate heart?" "Lord Daimyo, what do you mean?" The retainer couldn't help but ask weakly. A look of interest appeared on the daimyo's fat-filled face. "If we can't hold a giant skull specimen exhibition, we can also hold a child specimen exhibition. Karen? Karen, where are you? Just then, an untimely voice came from afar. Everyone looked in the direction of the sound. They could see a woman dressed in combat gear with bright red long hair looking for someone in the devastated ninja village. This person. It was Uzumaki Faashi. Uzumaki Faashi, whose blood was completely sucked by the village of Hidden Grass Village, was too weak to open her Kagura mind. I could only call out for her daughter by voice. The daimyo of the Land of Grass suddenly brightened up. What a rare hair color, it doesn't look like it was dyed afterwards. He was itching to move. Drooling with desire. If this head were made into a specimen, it would certainly make a fine collection. He quickly ordered. Quick! Go and catch her. Don't let her get away. Uzumaki Faashi didn't expect that in the process of looking for her daughter, she would encounter a group of strange people. Their attire didn't resemble ninjas, nor did they look like people from the Hidden Grass Village. They looked more like old-fashioned samurai. She noticed that the group was heading straight for her. And they had surrounded her. Who are you? Seeing the samurai sword in their hands, Uzumaki Faashi instinctively wanted to pull out her kunai. But she suddenly remembered that she was just a blood bag tool. She had no ninja tools on her. Daimyo of the Land Grass, specifically want your head. It's just your bad luck that you happen to have red hair. A burly retainer holding a samurai sword said with a sneer on his face. Damn it. Uzumaki Faashi looked very anxious. She knew that she was in a weak state right now. She could handle 2 or 3 people barehanded. But there were more than a dozen people in this group. Pops. Mom scent is over here. I see her. It's Mom. Mom. Just then, a crisp and pleasant voice came from behind Uzumaki Faashi. The childish voice was filled with joy. Uzumaki Faashi quickly turned around. Karen. She saw her daughter, and her daughter was actually sitting on Whitebeard's shoulder, waving at her. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr
A hearty voice followed. Whitebeard glanced at the eye-catching obese figure and grinned. I think I heard someone call you daimyo. So you're the daimyo of the land of grass, huh? Brat. So it's you who wants my head, huh? Chapter 67, Precise Misstep. Beheading the daimyo of the land grass. So it's you who wants my head, huh? Such a simple question, but under Whitebeard's overbearing aura, the atmosphere suddenly becomes tense. The daimyo of the land of grass's eyes widen in disbelief. He looks up at Whitebeard dumbfounded. Whitebeard's imposing physique, combined with the aura of dominance he emits, makes it feel as if a huge rock is pressing down on one's heart. The scene becomes eerily silent. Giant. Gulp. The daimyo of the land of grass takes a nervous gulp. All his aristocratic composure is gone. A growing sense of fear urges him to retreat. As he moves back, he steps on several of his retainers' feet, and the weight of hundreds of kg is not a joke. The retainers gasp in pain but dare not utter a word. Sweat drips down the daimyo's chubby face, making him look as if he's been drenched in rain. He fanned himself with a round fan, attempting to cool himself down with the breeze it created. Only when he's about 10 meters away from Whitebeard does he feel somewhat safe. What are those ninjas doing? I pay them almost 100 million ryo in military expenses every year, and this is how they defend against enemies? They should go to the military court. In his panic, the daimyo curses his useless ninja troops. The retainers surrounding the Uzumaki Fa'ashi also seem extremely tense. They glance at each other, unsure of what to do next. Suddenly, the daimyo of the land of grass saw someone dressed as an Anbu ninja. Seeing him as his savior, he commands. You. Yes, you. Stand by my side. He's well aware of the capabilities of his retainers. While they can handle ordinary people, facing a giant who broke into the hidden grass village is another story. Thus, he urgently needs a ninja to protect him. But he realizes the ninja ignored him. Or, in other words, this Anbu ninja simply didn't dare to interact with the daimyo. The Anbu ninja knows where the power lies in this situation. Compared to his own life, what importance does the daimyo hold? My apologies, Lord Daimyo. The Anbu ninja grits his teeth, drawing a line on his forehead protector. I am no longer a hidden grass village ninja, I no longer serve the hidden grass village. He quickly distances himself from the village. Realizing the way of the world, he says. There's only one son in my world, and that's Whitebeard. The daimyo is stunned. You. Gorura, so, you no longer want my head? The daimyo's palms are sweaty. His voice trembles with fear. I am the daimyo of the land of grass. Yes, that's right. I am the daimyo. But it seems he regains some confidence. His title seems to give him some courage. His brain works overtime, trying to find a solution. He keeps fanning himself to alleviate the tension and pressure. Gradually, his voice becomes steadier. He even attempts a more conciliatory tone. Perhaps there was a misunderstanding between us. But it's clear now. If I'm not mistaken, you've already killed the leader of the Hidden Grass Village. Whitebeard remained silent, just staring at him. The pressure that the daimyo had barely managed to dissipate became heavy again. His tone quickened. Ninjas can't kill the daimyo because the daimyo controls the economic lifeline of the country. In the ninja world, the daimyo is more important than the ninja village. Because I can give money to the ninja village, I can give a lot of money to the ninja village. If you want to take over the Hidden Grass Village and become the new leader of the Hidden Grass Village, I will fully support you. From then on, I will give 200 million to the Hidden Grass Village every year. I will give you 200 million every year to develop the Hidden Grass Village. At the same time, I won't interfere with anything in the ninja village. What do you think? The frequency of the daimyo of the Landgrass's fan waving became faster and faster. His hard-pressed nervousness once again surfaced. Facing a man like Whitebeard, a calm mindset simply couldn't be maintained. He suddenly realized. The look in Whitebeard's eyes as he looked at him was like looking at an idiot. The next moment, Whitebeard's words broke the daimyo's psychological defense. Noble brat, when you're dead, isn't everything you have mine? Daimyo. He was completely panicked. Giant. If you dare to touch Lord Daimyo, you will become a target for everyone in the ninja world. A retainer of the daimyo of the Land of Grass mustered up courage and shouted, the Land of Grass will issue a bounty for you in the ninja world. All ninjas in the entire ninja world will hunt you down and see you as an enemy. Also, your family and loved ones will also be bountied by the Land of Grass. Your family and loved ones will be hunted down by the entire ninja world. If you dare to lay a hand on Lord Daimyo, it won't just be you who are implicated, but your entire family. Not only threatening him with a bounty, but also threatening him with his family? Whitebeard flashed a hint of gloom. Even if he was a pirate full of pride, there was one line that absolutely couldn't be crossed by others. Whitebeard's bottom line is family. Whether it's attacking his family or plotting against his family or threatening him with his family, they would all be seen by Whitebeard as his greatest enemy in this life. These people in front of him stepped right on a landmine. Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr Whitebeard's laughter carried a hint of anger and killing intent. Karen, close your eyes. Whitebeard said to Karen. Huh? Oh. Karen quickly closed her eyes. Perhaps feeling that closing her eyes wasn't safe enough, she covered her eyes with both small hands. It was also at the moment she closed her eyes. Whitebeard suddenly erupted. He switched from holding his sword with one hand to holding it with both hands. Under the horrified gaze of Daimyo of the Land of Grass and all other retainers, Whitebeard didn't hesitate and slashed horizontally. A noble in the ninja world? A daimyo in the ninja world? A feudal lord? A king? No matter how special the other party's identity is, in Whitebeard's eyes, they are just a pile of dog poop on the side of the road. As long as the other party does not threaten his family, Whitebeard will only treat them as a mobile ATM. After the other party threatens his family, Whitebeard has already considered this kind of person as good as dead. Wait. The daimyo of the Land of Grass, who wanted to kill his family members, was shouting in extreme horror. But it was already too late. The sharp blade of the Murakamagiri instantly sliced through bodies. Those retainers of the daimyo couldn't react at all, let alone dodge Whitebeard's strike. Splurt. 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 Their bodies were cut in half at the waist. The upper half flew into the sky while the lower half still stood in place, with a large amount of internal organs scattered around. The Murakamagiri did not touch the daimyo of the Land of Grass. But before the daimyo could feel relieved, the sharp wind pressure from this strike, like an invisible blade, cut open the daimyo's body. Splurt. Blood and fat splattered. He died on the spot. Seems like I'm a step too late. Not far away, Kakashi, who was with Naruto, arrived late. He looked at the bodies all over the ground and murmured to himself, now, it's not just a diplomatic incident. Chapter 68, From today onwards, be my daughter. Could it be the daimyo of the Land of Grass? Kakashi's forehead was covered in sweat. He knew that even if he hadn't been late, he wouldn't have been able to change anything. Honestly, having been in the ninja world for so long, even though he had participated in the Third Great Ninja War, he had never seen anyone kill a noble with his own eyes. Let alone seeing someone kill a daimyo. In the ninja world, ordinary nobles and daimyos are very different. Ordinary nobles, although not easy to provoke, at least there are quite a few of them in a country. Somewhat similar to the ninja clans of the Hidden Leaf village. Just without the inheritance of ninjutsu. But the daimyo is different. The Land of Grass has only one daimyo. A country's daimyo is equivalent to the Hokage in the Hidden Leaf village. Whitebeard's actions. Equivalent to killing a Hokage. Pops. Naruto, who was next to Kakashi, ran towards Whitebeard like a runaway fox. He excitedly said, "Pops. Just now, Kakashi and I teamed up and defeated a ninja from Hidden Grass Village." The appearance of Naruto, this hot-blooded idiot's son, made Whitebeard's bad mood dissipate. The smile on his face no longer contained anger, but pure cheerfulness. Pure hearty laughter. Whitebeard laughed heartily and said, "Gorrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr Uncle Kakashi said it was a Chunin. Naruto had already run to Whitebeard's side. For the bloody scene in front of him. Naruto was already having a hard time feeling uncomfortable. Following his pop during this time, Naruto had seen several visual shocks. He used to turn pale and even vomit on the spot at first, but now he doesn't anymore. He has undergone several stimulating transformations. Huh? Suddenly, Naruto saw a red-haired child sitting on Whitebeard's shoulder. It seemed to be a little girl. Pops, who is she? Naruto scratched his head a bit puzzled. Foolish son, her name is Karen. Whitebeard introduced. From today onwards, she is my daughter. And she is also a new family member, huh? Family? Huh? Daughter? Naruto and Karen's mom's shocked voices almost sounded at the same time. She is your new daughter, Pops? She's about my age. Karen, what a good name. Naruto's eyes widened. At this moment, Karen, who was sitting on Whitebeard's shoulder, also quietly opened her eyes. Although she couldn't see anything just now, she heard Whitebeard talking to someone now. When Karen saw the bodies all over the ground, her little face suddenly turned as pale as paper. But after seeing her mother again, she recovered a bit. Then she looked at Naruto. Her little face was also confused and somewhat shyly introverted. Hello. Naruto suddenly gave Karen a thumbs up. The smile on his face was as bright as it could be. In this dark and bloody hidden grass village. It seemed particularly abrupt. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto's smile came from his heart. He was indeed very happy at this moment. I am also Whitebeard's son. I am his first son in the ninja world. You are Pop's daughter, so we will be family from now on. Naruto Uzumaki. Family. Karen couldn't help but pause. Perhaps Naruto's smile was indeed infectious. She plucked up courage. My name is Karen. We are family, she said seriously with her little face. At that moment, the most confused person at the scene was Karen's mother. She never expected that after she went out to carry out a do-or-die mission, survived by a fluke, became a rogue ninja and returned to the village, her daughter Karen suddenly have a father. Karen, she acknowledged Whitebeard as her father. This might also be a good thing. Uzumaki Faashi knew that with her own strength, she couldn't provide Karen with a good environment. Being able to find a village like Hidden Grass Village was already the limit for her as a mother. She knew. She failed as a mother. Mom is also my family. Karen suddenly added. She tried to speak in a serious tone, but compared to her age, this serious tone was somewhat cute. Mom? Oh. Naruto clapped his hands together, with an expression of great wisdom. He suddenly realized, so you are the daughter, that big sister. Oh. I remember now. Whitebeard also looked at Uzumaki Faashi. This woman is only in her 20s. She should have been left with Karen when she was less than 20 years old. Now, Karen is about the same age as Naruto. She is only about 5 or 6 years old. That is to say, Uzumaki Faashi is only about 24 or 25 years old. At this age in Whitebeard's eyes, she is a kid among kids. Uzumaki Faashi is very thin. Thin to the point of malnutrition. She actually has no will to live. In the dark den of Hidden Grass Village, if it weren't for Karen supporting her faith, she would have probably committed suicide long ago. Red-haired kid. Whitebeard asked Uzumaki Faashi, in the entire ninja world, besides Karen, do you have any other family members? What about the husband who gave birth to Karen with you? Uzumaki Faashi was taken aback and replied in a low voice, my husband is also a survivor of the Uzumaki clan, but he abandoned us mother and daughter. What an irresponsible guy. Whitebeard frowned. Red-haired kid. In Uzumaki Faashi's stunned gaze, Whitebeard actually reached out to her, from today on, be my daughter. Ah. This sentence almost stunned Uzumaki Faashi. She looked up at Whitebeard in front of her. That sincere expression couldn't be faked. Uzumaki Faashi thought. The other party is serious. She never thought that someone would want to adopt her as a daughter, let alone that someone would want to be her family member, especially such a person who is still a stranger. Since Uzumaki Faashi brought her daughter to Hidden Grass Village, She has never felt a trace of warmth. She suffers torment and hardship every day. Honestly, when she learned that Whitebeard had acknowledged her daughter Karen as his daughter, while she was happy for Karen in her heart, there was some envy that she herself didn't understand. Uzumaki Fuashi has been displaced since she was young. Her parents died on the day when Higneti village was destroyed years ago. Since then she has had no family members again. It took a lot of effort to have a husband, but the husband abandoned her and she lost her family again. Until Karen was born. The word family is extremely luxurious and difficult to obtain for an orphan like Uzumaki Fuashi. But now, there is a man named Whitebeard who is willing to be her family and willing to recognize her as an orphan. Mom cried. Sitting on Whitebeard's shoulder, Karen stared blankly at the hot tears flowing from her mother's eyes. Karen could feel it. Her mother was not sad but rather felt a unique joy. That joy turned into tears. Karen felt it right. The inner surge of emotion and joy made Uzumaki Fuashi completely forget. If she agreed, how should she and her daughter discuss their position as a mother and daughter? She spoke up. Pops. Chapter 69, Family members must not hurt or doubt each other. Gorora. Whitebeard's hearty laughter echoed throughout the hidden grass village. For Whitebeard today, there was nothing happier than adopting two daughters. Uzumaki Fuashi. Uzumaki Karen. This mother-daughter pair from the Uzumaki clan joined the new Whitebeard pirates from this day forward. Stupid son, I have found you another family member. Remember, in the Whitebeard pirates, family members must trust each other and cannot hurt each other. Whitebeard's words seemed to be directed at Naruto, but also at Karen and Uzumaki Fuashi. I will not tolerate any suspicion or harm among you. I will punish anyone who breaks this rule. Thinking of Blackbeard Teach, Whitebeard's tone became extremely serious when he said the last sentence. He would not allow such a tragedy to repeat it. The appearance of a Teach caused him to lose countless family members, which was unacceptable to Whitebeard. During the Summit War, he ultimately did not have the heart to deal with Teach, which eventually led to a greater tragedy. If such a thing were to happen again, if there were another person like Teach, he would not be soft-hearted anymore. Pops, rest assured. Naruto's face was tense and very serious. I will absolutely not hurt my family.